Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's FIVEaa.
Partly cloudy and 20 today with the 6 o'clock news. I'm Mel Usher.
Had a bingle driving to work? Contact premierpanel.com.au. RAA approved crash repairer.
The World Health Organisation has weighed in on mandatory COVID vaccines. Their top European official believes mandates should be a last resort, as several countries in the EU consider introducing them. Hans Kluge says a lot needs to be considered.
The effect that mandating vaccination could have on public confidence and public trust, as well as vaccination uptake, must be considered.
Meantime, the uncertainty on COVID is weighing heavy on the travel industry. We should know more by the end of the week when it comes to the impact of the Omicron strain on borders and restrictions. Travel agent Phil Hoffman says travellers are getting nervous.
We saw a lot of cancellations last week. It just creates an uncertainty for our people that want to travel interstate or internationally. When we keep changing the rules and the regulations, we need to get consistency. We need to keep the borders open.
4 new COVID cases were reported in SA yesterday, 2 of them linked to the Norwood cluster, which now stands at 27 cases. South Australia has 2 new powerful weapons in the fight against bushfires. 2 Black Hawk helicopters will be unveiled today. Emergency Services Minister Vincent Tarzia says they're the first of their kind in the country.
We know that they can deploy in only 5 minutes, and look, those extra seconds, that could be the difference between life and death. And that also means CFS volunteers on the ground have got greater aerial support for longer as well. Each helicopter's got a top speed of 360 kilometres an hour, and it can hold 4,000 litres of water or retardant.
First home buyers in SA are doing it extra hard. The Real Estate Housing Affordability Report shows there's been a 21.6% decrease in the September quarter. Industry President Adrian Kelly says our state saw the largest drop in the nation.
Those first home buyers fell as a percentage of around about 13%. But what we found was that the South Australian decrease of first home buyers was double that national average. Right across Australia last quarter, there were around about 38,000 first home buyers that found a property. But out of that 38,000, there was only about 6% that came from South Australia.
The father of Hannah Gutierrez-Reid, the armourer on Alec Baldwin's Western Rust, has broken his silence following the fatal shooting on set. Nine's US correspondent Alison Petrowski reports.
Bell Reid, a Hollywood veteran, says his daughter has been raised around gun safety since she was a little girl. He's told ABC America that Hannah had 2 jobs on Rust, guns and props, and questioned why she hadn't been called onto the set during Alec Baldwin's rehearsal. The Reid's lawyers believe that the gun used to kill Helena Hutchins was sabotaged by a disgruntled crew member who wanted to cause a safety incident after having complaints ignored. No arrests have been made over the shooting. The Santa Fe Sheriff's Department still investigating the incident.
We could see more Christmas cards exchanged in the coming weeks. The need for an emotional connection is expected to see a boost in cards and phone calls this year rather than a text or email. Workplace and social affairs expert Professor Gary Martin says cards are important.
This year people are trying to make a connection with people. The pandemic has emphasised that we need to emotionally connect with people in our lives. Especially when we've not been able to be together with others. And I think that's why we're seeing Christmas cards come back.
Now to FIVEaa Sport.
Fluorio milk comes from local cows and it's bottled here in SA. So look for the local Fluorio Milk Company.
And it's good morning to Jace Kemp.
And a very good morning to you, Mel. To cricket first, and the Strikers have lost their opening Big Bash game of the season. The side losing by 2 runs to the Melbourne Renegades. The match decided on the very last ball.
Here we go, 6 to win it. They need it. Daniel Drew. It's in the slot, it's in the air. Will it get there? It shouldn't. Merlo comes back, he throws it in, and that's it. That is a big win for the Melbourne Renegades.
Still on cricket, and the first Ashes Test gets underway at the Gabba later this morning. Cricket legend Ian Chappell believes the Aussies will have the upper hand in the batting attack. Chappell telling Wildwater Sports England will be relying on 2-star batters.
In Root and Stokes, and they are going to rely heavily on the other guys, and I'm not sure how good they'll be against a very strong Australian attack.
To soccer, and Adelaide United is getting ready to face arch rivals Melbourne Victory this weekend. Despite being winless this season, Craig Goodwin has told Rowie they've got plenty of firepower to collect 3 points.
Juric was the top scorer last year. He's gone. But with me, Steph, Benny, Cassini, I think we have goals in the team. It's just a matter of converting those chances.
And finally, to tennis, Novak Djokovic is a chance to play at the Australian Open after committing to the ATP Cup in Sydney. And that's the FIVEaa Sport.
Now the FIVEaa forecast.
Enter for the $4 million grand prize at stjohnlottery.com.au. Ends midnight Sunday.
Partly cloudy today and a top of 20, much the same tomorrow, 21, and then Friday, 24 and mostly sunny. Right now it's 12 degrees. More news as it happens on FIVEaa.
Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, safety and style to South Australian homes for over 40 years. Gliderol.com.au. You're listening to FIVEaa Breakfast with Leith Forrest.
Good morning, everyone. 5 minutes after 6 on this Wednesday morning, December 8. Sitting in for David and Will, 2 more days. The boys returning on Friday for their final show for 2021. And the boys enjoying their first morning of freedom after 7 days of home quarantine, 7-day lockdown. It was interesting last night, actually, Pembo on Twitter, he was taking suggestions what he should do at 12:01 this morning, and I was kind of hoping as I drove in this morning about 4:30 coming through the city that I might see him stumbling out of Hindley Street. That wasn't the case, but he did tweet late last night. It looks as though we will be getting a floater at O'Connell Bakery, a whipped butter stack at the Pancake Kitchen, and then being sat on by a lady at the Crazy Horse. What a time to be alive, which does beg the question for those people who are up at 6 minutes after 6 on a Wednesday morning. And we've got some great prizes to give away, including vouchers to Games World and some family passes to Santa's Wonderland, which is on now at the Adelaide Showgrounds. What is open in Adelaide at 6 o'clock or 12 o'clock in the morning of a weekday? What is 24 hours in this great city of ours that David and Will could do after 7 days of lockdown? The first morning of freedom, 12:01. So clearly the service stations are open. We know that at 12 o'clock. What else is open after midnight on a weekday? Forget about the weekend because we understand there's extended hours. What could they do? Let's compile a list because I'm assuming that Will might have slept through. Maybe David had these grand plans but didn't quite get there at 12:01. And we know that there are other people in home quarantine because of their association or their meetings with Joe Weatherall of recent times. Maybe Peter Malinauskas, our opposition leader, did the same thing. Maybe he got up. I kind of have this thought that they would look like something like Tom Hanks out of Castaway, dishevelled, big beard, long hair, getting out of the house after 7 days and going and experiencing things. Because I'll be honest, I am that old saying, nothing good happens after midnight. That is me to a T. I do not go out any time after midnight. So I couldn't tell you, to be honest, what is open after midnight of a weekday here in the city. You can have your say, your chance to win a great prize, 8223 0000. Ange at Kidman Park to kick us off this morning. Morning, Ange.
Hey, guys, how are you?
Well, what's open after midnight in Adelaide on a weekday?
Come on, mate. What about Cafe Villies?
Oh, yes. So that's 24 hours?
After a hard night, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, mate. Can't go wrong.
So South Road, is there 2 Cafe de Villiers or there's another one opening soon, I was told?
There's one at Blair Rathel, but I'm not quite sure if that is open 24/7, but
Okay.
the one on South Road, always.
Busy after midnight or just the stragglers?
Come on, mate. I'm a husband with 2 kids. How would I know? I'm just giving you some options.
Thank you, Ange. Have you ever been to Cafe de Villiers after midnight, enjoyed like a pie or a pasty or some hot chips?
When I was a young lad, yes, mate, we used to go into town, Hindley Street, instead of going to Macca's, straight down to Cafe Villiers, mate. Have a nice pie with sauce and a chocolate donut. It's amazing.
Wow. Is there a cut-off time, though, for a pie and sauce? I would have thought midnight might be that time, Ange.
Nah, when you've had a couple of drinks, mate, any food's good food, isn't it?
Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't drink either. So, see, I don't fall into that category. Thank you, Ange. Someone called in too and said that Villiers at Blair Athol is 24/7, so you can enjoy, if that is your wish, a pie or a pasty after midnight. 8223 0000. 0448 08 1395, the Telstra store at Mount Barker text line. What's open after midnight? What's 24 hours? So I drove in this morning, Perry Street here in the city, there was a gym, there was a guy on the treadmill. So this is 4:30. Would there be 24-hour gyms in Adelaide, or would they have just opened early? Because we know the service stations, obviously, they would do it. Cafe de Villiers we'll put on that list. See, I wouldn't have thought the bakery on O'Connell was 24 hours, but according to Pembo's tweet, it is. Pancake Kitchen, I think I've been to once, and it was at a respectable hour, maybe a Sunday morning with the kids and Jessica, but I don't think I've ever been after midnight or 1 in the morning. So let's compile a list for David and Will as they enjoy a couple of days of freedom. They'll be back on Friday for the final 5AA breakfast of the year. Big show on the way today too. We're going to continue to promote Rowi's ride to Rusden for North Point Toyota Make-A-Wish Foundation. Great day yesterday on the sports show. Some $2,500 raised for the Crows memorabilia that was given away. Today, it's a bat flip and a bottle of Grange up for grabs. So be listening from 4 o'clock today. But someone who's taking part in the ride, and he's a favourite of all of us here at 5AA, James Rowe, is going to join me on the show just after 7 o'clock. So we'll speak to Jimmy about Dad and the association with Make-A-Wish, and we might just have to ask about how pre-season is going. I drove past West Lakes last night, took the kids, got some last-minute Christmas presents yesterday at Westfield, but the ground looks great. It's so different. If you have not been to Footy Park of recent times, just do yourself a favour and go down. It's a little bit Legoland, to be honest. Like, the houses are quite tight, but beautiful streetscapes with trees and greenery, so it does look nice. Text messages coming in. Cafe de Villiers do a nice bacon and egg breakfast anytime. Caroline, thank you for that. Joe, most gyms are 24 hours now. You wouldn't survive in a business if you didn't. Really? All gyms are 24 hours or most? Again, haven't been to a gym for a while. Gentlemen's entertainment clubs are open after midnight. Thank you. But they're not open 24 hours. The Crazy Horse wouldn't be open all night, would it? Surely they close at 1 or 2 or 3. Mark from Para Hills. I'd like to see Pembo at the Crazy Horse. My dad said the same, Leith. Nothing good happens after midnight back in the 80s. This one says, Will Goodings could go and wash his car South Road, Carolta Park, or he could go shopping at Coles on Grote Street, which opens at midnight. Is that right? That wouldn't be 24 hours, is it? The Coles at Grote Street by the Central Market? Mark at Glenside. David and Will could hang out in OTR and listen to the awful top 40 commercial music station that is being blasted on the radio. Good thought, Mark. You can have your say, 8223 0000. You can send me a text on the Telstra Store Mount Barker and Murray Bridge text line 0448 08 1395, or get to us on air at 5AA.com.au.
So why go with NRG Solar?
The reason why we became an NRG Solar customer was because primarily we trusted Michael, and we've seen a lot of stuff on the internet about how cheap and nasty some of the goods were and some of the services, and Michael explained to us what NRG Solar did, and it seemed to us the logical way to go. We didn't seek other quotes because we were very trusting of Michael's expertise and that of the implementers of the system.
Visit nrgsolar.com.au.
Do you still love your car? Why not take it to Edwardstown Mazda to see what it's really worth? It's the safest and easiest way to move your car on and get into a new or used Mazda. 862 South Road, Edwardstown.
Wouldn't this make the perfect Christmas gift for any diehard Beatles fan in your family? You can get tickets to the Classical Mystery Tour. It is an all-Adelaide 21-piece rock band and orchestra colliding to deliver the Beatles' Magical Mystery Tour. Now, the Classical Mystery Tour is guaranteed to be a monster hit. It's at the Adelaide Fringe in February of next year, which is a lot closer than you would think. All you need is love, I'm the Walrus, Penny Lane, Strawberry Fields, Fool on the Hill, just some of the great tunes that you will witness in an amazing pre-sunset show at Gluttony in the open-air seated venue. It's the Magical Mystery Tour now turned into the Classical Mystery Tour. Only at Gluttony during the Adelaide Fringe in early 2022. There are just 11 shows. Tickets to this incredible event will sell fast, so don't miss out. Get onto it now. Perfect Christmas gift. fringetix.com.au. Lock them in.
This summer, watch the Adelaide Strikers light up Adelaide Oval from the comfort of your own fully serviced area. Join the fun and enjoy all the exciting on-field action with a full VIP experience. Book at adelaidestrikers.com.au.
The passing of someone close places unique stress on family and friends. At this time, Farrell and O'Neill Funerals are here to provide reassurance and peace of mind. Farrell and O'Neill offer creative guidance and advice to tailor a service that best honours your loved one. Whether a large gathering or a small, intimate service, Farrell and O'Neill share their generations of experience in tailoring a unique and meaningful farewell. Proudly SA family owned and operated, because it's personal.
9 News is the one that's always been live and local. 9 News, made in Adelaide for Adelaide.
Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, safety and style to South Australian homes for over 40 years.
Gliderol.com.au.
You're listening to 5AA Breakfast with Leith Forrest.
Morning everyone, 6:15, sitting in for David and Will. We're taking a list of things that are open in Adelaide after midnight of a weekday. Compiling a list as David and Will enjoy some days of freedom. They'll be back Friday for the final show of the year. Some clarification on a couple of issues. So the Coles at Grote Street is open from midnight until 9 p.m. That's unusual. I guess they stock the shelves for the 3 hours and then go again. And for those interested, the Pony Club, the Crazy Horse, Hindley Street, 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. There you go. Doug, what's open in Adelaide after midnight?
Well, the jetties are open, so they could go fishing.
They could. They could indeed.
And if they're really keen, they could stand on the University footbridge and fish in the Torrens.
Mm. Would there be anything in the Torrens?
Oh, carp.
Living. Oh, would there?
Carp, yes. A lot of carp. And they could put them in their compost heap in their backyard.
Yeah.
And make or just wrap them up, leave them out in the backyard for a couple of days till they get fly blown. Wrap them up and they'd have plenty of gents for the next fishing trip.
Well, there you go. Does anyone actually fish in the Torrens just for fun? Probably not.
Yep, they do. Yep.
Hey,
yep.
Doug, if I went to a jetty, suburban jetty after midnight, would anyone be fishing? Is there anything worth catching at night? Are you more likely to catch something at night time than during the day?
Not necessarily, but some nights, depends on the tide. So if a high tide's at, say, 2 o'clock in the morning, if you fish from about midnight till 2, you might catch something on the incoming tide.
Nice. Because I know, see, I'm not a fisherman. I should ask Rowie this or Matt Abraham this. But we're a water skiing family, so you want to get the first ski of the day just after sunrise because it's glass. So I wonder if that's a bit the same with fishing. Can you get out there before the masses do, or, is there a peak time? If there was a peak time to fish?
Only generally the incoming tide. Okay. So it doesn't matter what time of the day it is, but generally the incoming tide.
Is there a best jetty to fish in the city?
No. Port and Lunga is a bit further down. That used to be a really good one. But people catch fish off just about every jetty, or off every jetty in Adelaide. Some of them catch crabs, a few squid maybe.
Okay. Anything worth catching off the jetty?
Yeah, I mean, you can catch tommies, you can catch garfish, silver whiting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well done. Doug, appreciate the call. Thank you for that. We'll put that on the list. So we've got so far the Crazy Horse, Cafe de Villiers, a jetty, a 24-hour gym, Coles at Grote Street. These are all the lists for David and Will post-midnight in case they missed it last night. They want to get up again today, and they can do so. Their second day of freedom. They're back on Friday for the last show for the year. This one from Dean at Flinders Park. If the pubs are shut, they could do a servo crawl at Darlington like we used to in the old days with the pubs. Thank you for that. The City Watch House is always open. Bob, thank you for that. This one from Wally the Walnut. Many people are fishing the Torrens. There's massive carp in there. There are more fish, more crabs, late afternoon, high tide or the incoming tide. Plenty of seals about. Wally, thank you for that. And this one says Jimbo, who actually just wants a score update. He missed Tom's sports show this morning, so he's after an update. Can you give me a score in the New England Patriots-Buffalo Bills game? I can. There for you, Jimbo. Patriots 14-10. Looks as though it could be a Patriots-Tampa Super Bowl if that's the way it's going. So Tom Brady against his old side, which would be amazing. Let's have a look at the news of the day. Dozens of people on board a party boat in Sydney are being told to get tested after fellow passengers tested positive to COVID-19. I'm going to hear more of these. 5 people on board the vessel have tested positive to the virus since Friday. Health officials believe that at least 2 of them have the Omicron variant. 140 people attended that particular function. 2 Black Hawk helicopters are joining SA's fleet for the bushfire season. They can carry up to 4,000 litres of water. They can reach speeds 360 kilometres per hour. Incredible. The Emergency Services Minister, Vincent Tarzia, says that it's a huge boost to our capabilities.
Black Hawks, we know, are revolutionary firefighting assets. They're fast, they're agile, they have pinpoint accuracy. But we're evolving South Australia's defence against bushfires this summer. The only thing better than 1 Black Hawk is 2, and we've got those locked in.
Well done. So fingers crossed we have a safe season this summer, but always, as is the case, people on high alert for that. The World Health Organisation cautioning against mandatory COVID vaccines. The WHO's top European official has stressed that there is no need for increased vaccine take-up to drive down, has stressed that there is a need, rather, for an increased vaccine uptake to drive down the cases worldwide. But Hans Klug says the mandate should be an absolute last resort.
Mandates should never contribute to increasing social inequalities in access to health and social services.
Australian athletes are being assured they'll be safe travelling to Beijing for the Winter Olympics. We discussed this yesterday on the back of the US pulling out their diplomats. Our federal government yet to confirm if the Australian diplomats will follow suit with the US and boycott the Games, prompting fears that the move would intensify some conflict with China. The IOC member, Christophe Duby, says a range of test events have proven that athletes will be protected.
No one at any point in time faced any issue with respect to anything that was agreed with the organizers, including, by the way, the fact that we would say access to internet.
So we'll see how that plays out. I would assume that they would follow suit. What tends to happen, America leads the way on these kind of things and everyone else falls into line. We shall wait and see. Australia's payment systems will undergo the biggest reforms in 25 years. 55 million payments worth $650 billion are made each day, but not using cash. These range, of course, from the online purchases, the tap and go, transfer of wages into a bank account. For example, the federal government says that the growing use of digital payments means greater scrutiny is needed to make sure that all consumers are protected with this. The government working with industry and regulators to develop a reform strategy by the middle of the year. There'll also be more checks and balances around booming and buy now, pay later schemes and the sector there, and also the confusing world that is cryptocurrency. Meantime, Perth are sweltering through one of their hottest December weeks in almost a century. Temperatures forecast to soar above the 40 degrees later today. Sad news for Perth and WA residents. They can't leave. Premier won't let them go anywhere. Omicron, Sitsipas and Glasgow have all made it onto the list of this year's most mispronounced words. We could probably come up with our own list before 9 o'clock, words that you continually butcher. I think Omicron's not too bad. Stefanos Tsitsipas is difficult. Glasgow wouldn't have put in there. And finally, breaking into the property market is getting harder in SA. Just ask anyone who's trying to buy a house at the moment. Sellers market. The latest real estate housing affordability report shows the number of first-home buyers has dropped from 21.6% in the September quarter. Industry President Adrian Kelly has spoken and says a number of factors are at play here.
It's getting much, much harder for first-home buyers to save for their deposit, and they also need to save for their stamp duty as well. And as prices rise, deposit and stamp duty both rise as well, but wages and salaries aren't keeping up. The other thing which is happening is the lack of available new listings coming to market.
Well, that is the issue. Adrian Kelly's right there, and you speak to anyone in the real estate game, they just can't get stock. But I don't know if you've been to a auction recently in your neighbourhood. I went to one on the weekend. One of the houses in our street sold for over $1 million that surprised all of us. All of the neighbours were rubbing their hands together thinking, gee, it is a seller's market. We all might, do well now if we were to sell our houses. The problem is, if you do sell, where are you going to go? Unless you downsize, unless you go to a place where you can actually save some money and put that aside, that's not going to work for you necessarily, but we'll see how that all plays out. Another text message from Jason on the Telstra store Mount Barker text line. What about the 24-hour liquor store at the airport? Again, sorry, as a non-drinker, Jason, I don't know of that. So that's in the actual airport itself. You can buy alcohol 24 hours. I'm not sure the boys want to go to the airport for that necessarily, but that's interesting. We're compiling a list. So for those who tuned in just now for the first time, David and Will got out of home quarantine as of 12:01 this morning, and we had Pembo joking on Twitter about getting a pie floater at O'Connell Street Bakery, getting some pancakes at the Pancake Kitchen, and sneaking along to the Crazy Horse. tongue-in-cheek there. But we are compiling a list, and it's been good so far. So from Coles in Grove Street, the 24-hour cafe to Villiers. Now we know of the liquor store at the airport. What else is open in sleepy Adelaide after midnight that's not a service station on a weekday? Let me know. 8223 0000. Send an email on air at 5AA.com.au or a text 0448 08 1395. News headlines shortly. Andy's going to let us know the latest in sport. We'll head to the UK with Vincent. And as I mentioned, after 7 o'clock, Jimmy Rowe, Crow Star, to talk about Rowe's ride to Rusden for North Point for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Apparently, Novak Djokovic is going to get an exemption, a medical exemption, to come to the Australian Open. We'll touch on that with Christina Hearn from Channel 9. Sean Fuster's here to talk all things courts, and we'll also catch up with Lisa McCune, the star of Stage and Screen, after 8:30, a new show coming to Adelaide for the State Theatre Company.
No one likes to wait, especially if you're waiting for something really amazing, like a new Mazda. Lucky, you won't have to wait too long at Mawson Lakes Mazda. Right now, you'll find new stock and demos right across the range, which means there's no compromise. You'll get everything you want and love in your new Mazda. Get behind the wheel of your dream Mazda sooner. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city.
G'day, it's Merv Hughes here. After years of snoring like a train, the missus sent me for a CPAP Direct sleep test. I'm sleeping quiet and waking up refreshed.
If you like to get away, drop in to CPAP Direct to see the latest technology in travel CPAP machines and batteries, so you can snore no more on the road.
Find your local store at cpap.com.au.
Could not love Wallace Cinemas anymore. They're family owned. They're a South Australian business priding themselves on supporting the community, and you can get back into your local Wallace and see the movies like they should be seen on the big screen with the magnificent Quake sound that you can feel. Now, I saw the new James Bond film at Mitcham the other day with the Quake. It was incredible. The Christmas Cine Savers, they're back. 5 adult movie tickets for just $55 or 4 kids tickets for $42. You might want to try the whole Wallace experience. A book of vouchers for the food, for the movies and more. You know they make their choc tops on site. You can support local and share a fabulous cinema experience with your family and your friends. And Christmas shopping is so easy. On sale until the 24th of December. Buy in at cinemas at Mitcham, at Mount Barker, Noarlunga, online at wallace.com.au, and sneak into the drive-in before it's gone.
Sportsmed Foot and Ankle Clinic is growing, with orthopaedic surgeon Dr. Tom Fisher joining our Stepney Healthcare Hub. Here's Dr. Claire Bolton.
Sportsmed isn't like other clinics. We have our own hospital with specialists, doctors, physios and podiatrists together in one state-of-the-art location. This makes life easier for our patients because their appointments can happen in one place. It also lets us diagnose issues quickly, leading to high-quality, cost-effective care.
All your treatments, all your care, one place. Sportsmed. Visit sportsmed.com.au.
Don't just get any old mattress and cross your fingers. There's only one award-winning Sleeping Duck mattress that Australia loves, and comes with a system to get the comfort perfect for you in your very own home. Get it perfect at sleepingduck.com.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head online to 5AA Facebook or search 5AA on YouTube. Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, safety and style to South Australian homes for over 40 years. Gliderol.com.au. You're listening to 5AA Breakfast with Leith Forrest.
Sitting in for David and Will, the final show on Friday. Thank you to Trish on the Facebook Live, 24-hour gyms. David says the beach is always open, and this one said you can go to the casino to play blackjack 24 hours. I, again, have not done that after midnight. Andy Razion is here to talk all things sport. Thanks to Fleurieu Milk, comes from local cows, bottled here in SA. Look for your local Fleurieu Milk company. Andy, good morning.
Hey now, Leith. Ashes Day.
Yes.
Or the first day of cricket. It doesn't have to be the Ashes, but the first day of cricket of the year is always a very exciting day in the Australian sport calendar. Here we are. Don't see England getting anything out of this test series, to be honest. I think the Aussies, despite the recent off-field nonsense, I think they're going to be okay. I thought I'd take a walk down memory lane this morning give the top 3 Ashes tests for England in history and the top 3 for Australia. I'll do England first. I'll go all the way back to 1948, the Oval. A test that Australia won, but was very significant. It was the last Donald Bradman innings. He needed 4 runs.
Yeah.
He did not get 4 runs.
Duck.
He remains 99.94 forevermore. I'm going to go number 2. People will remember the 1981 Headingley Test. Australia 9 for 401, and then 111 they lost to England by 18 runs. It was Ian Botham who got 149 not out, who got an extraordinary innings there by Beefy. And then in 2005, I'm going to say was England's best ever Ashes series. When they won again after not having won since the late 80s, they won it in England. They won it at the Oval, but Australia won the first test, and England won the second test at Edgbaston. It was probably one of the great comebacks. Shane Warne and Michael Kasperowicz put on an awesome end tail wag, but it was not good enough. Harmison, who went on...
Steve Harmison.
Who went on to bowl one of the worst all-time first deliveries.
That's right. So that was the Freddie Flintoff
It was
series
the Freddie Flintoff
where he was
series.
amazing.
Yep.
That's right.
And England's first win since, I think, 1987. For the Aussies, I'm going to go number 3... 1989, Alan Border's ragtag group of
given no chance
of players who were given no chance, but completely stunned. Over the series, Terry Orderman took 41 wickets.
Yeah,
Mike Taylor 839 runs, and Steve Waugh was second. An extraordinary 4-0 series win by the Aussies, which started an era of dominance. Number 2, I'm going to go the first appearance by this man with this delivery.
First ball in Test cricket in England for Shane Warne. And he's done it. He started off with the most beautiful delivery. Gary has absolutely no idea what has happened to it. He still doesn't know.
That is so great. Mike Gadding's face is like, what?
He did not know the ball from hell. That was in Manchester. It was in 1993. And it was one of the greatest sporting highlights in Australian history. And wasn't Richie just so cool about it?
Yeah, just greatest ball we've ever seen. Just,
Could there be any other number 1 than Amazing Adelaide 2006? The last day.
Yes.
It was all but over. England... they won the first test at Australia, but in Adelaide, England won the toss. They got a double century from Paul Collingwood, 206. Kevin Peterson got 158. Going into the 4th day, England had a lead of 38 runs, and Australia bowled them all out and chased them down on Amazing Adelaide in 2006.
So great, wasn't it? Let's hope we get more of that today at the Gabba. It's a green monster. The good news is that James Anderson's not going to play, so
that's right. It's kind of all on Stuart Broad for the English. 10:30 starts.
Look forward to that. Andy, thank you for that. The latest in sport. It's all thanks to FIVEaa Milk. Support FIVEaa, great South Australian company from local cows, bottled in SA. Look for it at your local, the FIVEaa Milk Company. Off to the UK next.
This is Adelaide's FIVEaa.
Partly cloudy and 20 today with the 6:30 news. I'm Mel Usher.
Had a bingle driving to work? Contact Premier Panel Services at premierpanel.com.au.
Summer is when drivers put the pedal to the metal. More motorists are caught speeding in summer than any other season, according to the RAA. January is the worst month of the year, with an average of 8,311 motorists busted over the speed limit. It's believed people rushing around at Christmas and heading off on holidays contributes to the summer spike. The World Health Organisation is cautioning against mandatory COVID vaccines. The WHO's top European official has stressed there is a need for increased vaccine uptake to drive down cases worldwide, but says mandates should be an absolute last resort. There were 4 COVID cases reported in SA yesterday, 2 linked to the Norwood cluster and 2 from interstate. We've had 53 cases since we reopened our borders 2 weeks ago. But the uncertainty over borders in the wake of Omicron is hurting travel and hospitality. Joe from Gaucho's restaurant says travellers are abandoning bookings in droves.
We're feeling that impact where people just don't know, is it safe to travel, is it not safe to travel, and if I do travel, can I get home?
Cryptocurrency will come under greater scrutiny as part of reforms to digital payment systems. Nine's Michael Packy has more.
Over the past year, there's been a 63% increase in the number of Australians using so-called crypto assets. But regulation around these transactions is weak because they're not treated as a financial product under the Corporations Act. This means there's limited recourse for consumers if something goes wrong. In a bid to deal with this and improve security around other digital payments, the federal government will make major reforms to the payment system for the first time in 25 years. A strategic plan involving industry and regulators should be ready by mid-2022.
The UK is copping it with a major storm packing strong winds, heavy rain and snow. Nine's Carrie-Anne Greenbank is in London.
Storm Barra is descending on the UK, battering the country with 130 km/h winds, along with heavy rain and snow. Southern parts of Ireland have started flooding and almost 60,000 homes left without power. Wind warnings are in place for England and Wales, and snow and blizzard warnings issued for Scotland.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Fluorio milk comes from local cows and it's bottled here in SA. So look for the local Fluorio Milk Company.
It's over to Jace Kemp.
Thank you, Mel. To cricket first, and the Strikers have gone down by 2 runs to the Melbourne Renegades in the Big Bash. Batter Jake Weatherald was caught on the boundary by Jake Fraser-McGurk. The catch is already being described as one of the best of the summer.
Oh, I think he might have got enough. Yeah! Oh, what a catch! Unbelievable! Fraser McGurk with a one-hander, a screamer on the boundary at Marvel.
Yeah, unbelievable stuff there. Still on cricket, an Aussie legend, Alan Border, has been immortalised in bronze with a statue unveiled at the Gabba ahead of the first test this morning. Nine's Chris Rieger reports.
All eyes will be on the forecast today as a famous rivalry is reignited with the first Ashes test due to begin in Brisbane later this morning. One noticeable difference for those entering the stadium precinct will be the 1.8-metre statue of cricketing great Alan Border. Speaking at the unveiling, AB commenting on the statue's likeness capturing his signature cover drive.
And it's unmistakable who it is playing the shot. That's what I like about it most. The shot's pretty good from the good old days, and it captures me in my prime, so that's even better.
Border is the only player of any sport to be represented by a statue in the stadium precinct. It was funded entirely by private benefactors.
To soccer, and Paris Saint-Germain has thumped Bruges 4-1 in the Champions League, while RB Leipzig has beaten Manchester City 2-1. And finally in the tennis, Ash Barty has been named the WTA Player of the Year for a second time. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Enter for the $4 million grand prize at stjohnlottery.com.au. Ends midnight Sunday.
Heading for a top of 20 today and partly cloudy, much the same tomorrow 21, Friday mostly sunny 24. Right now it's 13 degrees. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, safety and style to South Australian homes for over 40 years. Gliderol.com.au. You're listening to 5AA Breakfast with Leith Forrest.
Morning everyone, 24 minutes to 7, sitting in for David and Will. Boys returning on Friday for the final show for 2021. Thank you to Trish on the Facebook Live, sent in a message about the 24-hour gyms. And Linda wants to send a birthday wish to her mum, Doreen, who is 97 today. So happy birthday to you, Doreen. That is a great knock, 97. I hope you have a terrific day. On the text line for Mount Barker Telstra store, David and Will could have gone to Coles and Grote Street. Been discussing that. It's open from midnight until 9 p.m. every weekday. That is a total of 130 hours this week. How busy is it? The Coles at 2 or 3 in the morning of a weekday. I couldn't imagine. Surely the checkout chicks and the checkout chaps are just sitting around sort of, I don't know, waiting for someone to come in. I can't imagine there would be a bustling trade, but if you know, you might want to let us know. 8223 0000 or send a text. Let's head to the UK. We'll get the latest. Vince McInerney joins me. Vince, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Well, the Prime Minister's office is a little red-faced this morning.
Very much so. This is a woman called Allegra Stratton, who I think you're about to hear from. She was actually previously a journalist, a colleague of mine at ITV News. She went into a role in Downing Street, which was going to be like Jen Psaki is in the White House. It was going to be a public face doing a daily press conference from Downing Street. They spent millions building the studio that she was speaking in when this was secretly recorded. But it came to pass, an idea of Dominic Cummings, that never actually saw fruition. And she was last seen in charge of communication for the government for the COP26. But a secret recording last year puts further evidence out in the public that it seems that there was secret Christmas parties going on in Downing Street against all of the rules, whilst everyone was obeying the rules, locked down at home, cancelling all Christmas plans. It sounds like they were living it up inside Downing Street.
I've just seen reports on Twitter that there was a Downing Street Christmas party on Friday night. Do you recognise those reports?
I went home. Hold on.
Would the Prime Minister condone having a Christmas party?
What's the answer?
I don't know. It wasn't a party, it was cheese and wine.
Just be clear, it's not. Is cheese and wine all right? No. It was a business meeting.
I'm joking.
This is recorded. This fictional party was a business meeting. And it was not socially distanced. One more, and then ask anybody have any questions today?
Oh boy, Vince, never great, the secret recording. And who would have thought that people are doing the wrong thing?
Exactly, and to clear up what that exactly was, so they were still testing out this new studio. It was another Downing Street advisor who was throwing mock questions as a journalist, and there they were all having a bloody good laugh about it at the rest of the nation's expense, whilst they were telling everyone, you know, I was one of the people, like millions across this country, I and my partner, we didn't travel, we didn't see our families, we kept ourselves safe and kept everyone else safe, followed what we were told were the rules. So there is a lot of anger. This tape only came out in the last 2 hours or so from ITV News. There was a lot of anger building, and even up to today, the Prime Minister, for the past 10 days or so, Downing Street have been asked about this party. They've denied it in a very sly way, saying, not denying that something happened, but saying that all the rules were observed. Well, there's frankly no way that dozens of people, as seems to be the case, gathered in Downing Street, we believe had drinks, had food, had a secret Santa. So this was something that was properly organised and stuck to the rules, as it were, at the time.
And worse too, Vince, they're laughing about it like it's a big joke. So, as you say, you and your partner, everyone does the right thing. They go to a different... Do you expect heads will roll? Do you think this will cost someone their job?
Completely. I think it really will, actually. I think, that audio was from a video that's leaked, so it's even worse when you see the full video. She's sort of leaning on the podium, smiling, laughing through it. If you go to my Twitter account, you will see the actual video there. And I think there will be now a real rout in Downing Street of the fact that not only does possibly Allegra Stratton need to lose her job within government over this video, she will likely take the fall on it, and she's been near the exit door, to be honest, for a little while now. But I think as well the fact that Downing Street, the spin that they have put on this in the last couple of days has been pretty bad. It is completely 1984 doublespeak about it, not kind of denying it because they can't get caught in the lie, but not confirming it either. So I think there might now well be a bit of a reckoning inside that building.
You know, the other thing, and we saw this here in Australia, Vince, where you had politicians who don't leave your home, but all of a sudden they had to go to their holiday home, or there were cases like that where we would see politicians saying, wear a mask, and then you'd see them out. That just sort of the brazenness of it, that rubs people the wrong way.
Completely, and I've covered this pandemic now for almost 2 years, and there are two clear at the moment points in my mind about when public trust broke and when I saw real changes in the compliance with the rules. The first one was the Dominic Cummings, the trip to Barnard Castle, the fact he drove up to Durham, all of that. We all remember that. The second one was the Matt Hancock video with him getting frisky with his assistant behind his wife's back and her husband's back in his office. From those were the two big points in this where people just sort of really started to shift away from adhering because it was the idea that, no, we're not all in this together. And I think this will already be the third point in this pandemic here in the UK where people simply say, we followed the rules, they weren't. And this sort of sleaze and mistrust of this particular government headed by Boris Johnson has really increased at all those points. And I think, again, in the build-up to this Christmas, when there are some restrictions, possibly more hanging in the wings, people are pretty fed up with those at the top not obeying the rules like the rest of us.
Vincent, while I got you, before we let you go, Omicron fears in the UK as we lead into Christmas?
Yeah, well, there are now dozens of cases in the UK. The rules haven't been updated since I last spoke to you, so we're not at the full Plan B yet, where it is a kind of work from home and any kind of lockdown. They are now, though, pushing pretty hard. The booster, I think I'm going for mine on Thursday morning. You're wearing masks now everywhere, and for the first time in a long time, I'm commuting on the tube at the moment, and there are people on the stations enforcing mask wearing, checking if people actually do have exemptions, giving them masks. And the evidence today is that the early signs, Number 10 say, are that Omicron does spread much more easily. And that would seem to be true, given that there are now already, in the past week or so since it arrived in the UK, 437 cases. A large number in Scotland. We saw there was a Steps a band. I don't know if they ever made it to Australia.
Yeah,
that's pretty dire if they did. But there was a concert of theirs in Glasgow where dozens of cases were tracked down to that concert, and to show how rapidly it can spread through a venue.
Wow. Vince, stay safe. Thanks so much for your time again this morning, and go get them. We don't like it when politicians do the right thing. Let's hope they're held to account.
Thanks very much.
All the best. Vincent McAvenny, in the UK. I've been practicing all day. Vincent will join us next week and we'll get the latest from the UK on that. Let's check the traffic as you're about to make your way, or if you're like Pembo and Will, you're about to make your way home after being out since midnight. The Glenelg BMW opening sale event on now. Exceptional opportunities across the range. Visit Glenelg BMW today.
At Bedford Park, got an unusual one. Look out for a kangaroo on the Southern Expressway to Main South Road. Henley Beach Military Road is closed for works. That's between Henley Beach Road and Main Street. Detours in place. Dry Creek got asphalt works on the Salisbury Highway near Kidman Road. And Motorbank speeds are reduced for works around the intersection of Cross Road, Glen Osmond Road and Portrush Road. Cameras today, Mount Lofty Summit Road, Crafers and Nan Road at Woodside. Go on an extraordinary adventure and discover the magic of Christmas with A Boy Called Christmas, the must-see family movie this holiday season. Don't miss A Boy Called Christmas in cinemas now. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
McAvenny. 7:15. Police next.
Finally, you can get back to the Lion. Get back to the Lion for your end-of-year celebration in our dining room or one of our incredible event spaces. And if you book a midweek function before the end of December, you'll score a $200 Lion Hotel gift card. Head to lionhotel.com.au for details.
Back to the Lion.
Get back to the Lion for your end-of-year celebrations. Get back to where you belong. The Lion, North Adelaide.
At Swan Security, we've been keeping Australian homes safe for over 30 years. Our new wireless Swan Buddy video doorbell and extreme cameras combine easy setup with extremely long rechargeable battery life. With HD video, two-way talk, mobile alerts, free recording and more. All controllable on the Swan Security app. The Swan Buddy and Extreme are now available from leading electronics retailers and swan.com. So turn your home sweet home into a home safe home with Swan Security.
Well, this will make a perfect Christmas gift for any diehard Beatles fan in the family, and there is so much Beatles content at the moment for you to enjoy. The Get Back documentary, 9 hours on Disney+. There's a great one called McCartney 321. Tickets to the Classical Mystery Tour. It's an all-Adelaide 21-piece rock band and orchestra. They will collide to deliver the Beatles' Magical Mystery Tour album, and this Classical Mystery Tour is guaranteed to be a monster hit. It will be the hit of the Fringe in February of next year, which is a lot closer than you think. You think Christmas is close? Wait to the Fringe. That's a couple of months away. All You Need Is Love, one of the great songs. I Am the Walrus, Cuckoo Cachoo, Penny Lane, Strawberry Fields, Fool on the Hill, Hello Goodbye. All these songs and more from that classic album in an amazing pre-sunset show at Gluttony, and it's all in an open-air seated venue. Imagine the masses just singing along together. The Magical Mystery Tour is now the Classical Mystery Tour, only at Gluttony during the Adelaide Fringe in early 2022. Now, there are 11 shows only. Tickets to the incredible show will sell fast, so don't miss out. You can get your tickets now. Lock them in at fringetix.com.au.
This summer's biggest hits are at Adelaide Oval. All out. Yep, the whole family will be. It's a hat trick. Actually, it's your friends in blue wigs. Winners won't just be on the Oval. There's plenty of giveaways. There'll be classic catches and classic catch-ups with your mates. What a score! Kids tickets from $10. Plenty of cracking shots and fireworks in the sky. This Thursday night at 6:45. Reserve your seats today. Visit adelaidestrikers.com.au.
9 News is the one that's always been live and local. 9 News, made in Adelaide for Adelaide.
We were singing
Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, safety and style to South Australian homes for over 40 years. Gliderol.com.au. You're listening to 5AA Breakfast with Leith Forrest.
This'll be the day that I die.
12 minutes to 7, sitting in for David and Will, the final show of the year this coming Friday. Let's check in with SA Police Senior Constable Matt Brown. Morning to you, Matt.
Good morning, Leith. How are you?
I am very well. An arson arrest this morning.
That's right. A man's been arrested after the alleged arson of a home late last night in Morphettvale. About 11:30pm last night, police and fire crews were called to the house on Cumberland Crescent after reports of a fire. And upon arrival, police located the front window had been smashed and fire damage had been caused to the window frame and furniture inside the home. And the fire was extinguished by the occupants of the house by using bottles of water. And after further investigation, Southern District detectives arrested a 31-year-old Morphettvale man and charged him with arson. And he was refused bail to appear in the Christie's Beach Magistrates Court later today. And police wish to reassure the public that this was not a random attack, with both parties known to each other.
Okay. Speaking of fire, another one too at Enfield.
That's right, over the other side of town. Just after 1am today, police and MFS crews were called to Truscott Road after reports that a Holden sedan had been set alight in the carport. Fire crews extinguished the blaze soon after, and just before the fire started, a light-coloured Ford Territory station wagon was seen to crash into the Holden. Now, it drove away from the scene, but one of the occupants is believed to have started the fire, and the suspect was then seen walking north on Truscott Road. And he's described as being of Aboriginal appearance, about 180 centimetres tall, was wearing a black hooded jumper and black shorts. So anyone who may have witnessed the incident is asked to call Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000.
So, Matt, if you're after a wanted person, I guess you'd be looking under every sort of rock and around every corner. Do they ever make it easy for you?
Well, sometimes they do, Leith, and with this one from again from Morphettvale last week, it was very, very easy for investigators. But a man's been arrested after he was wanted over fraudulent online sales of golf clubs. Now, police will allege that between the 20th and the 23rd of September, the 41-year-old Morphettvale man advertised golf clubs for sale online. And when 3 interstate victims transferred him the money, he kept the listing active while receiving the payments, with each victim thinking they were the only ones buying the clubs. Now, the suspect then kept the money and never sent the clubs to any of the buyers, who reported the incidents to SAPOL in November. After further investigation, police learned that the suspect played golf at a Morphettvale club. And just before 8am on Friday the 3rd of December, police went to the club and arrested the man as he was playing on the course. Now, the man's been charged with numerous offences, including deception and theft, and he was refused bail and appeared in the Christie's Beach Magistrates Court last week. So I guess you could say it was a stroke of luck that led to the arrest, Leith.
Very nice. I was thinking like a little round of applause as you arrested him. Very nicely done.
Yeah,
Matt,
that's a golf clap.
Thank you for that. Correct. I didn't have the sound effect, unfortunately. I had to do it on the fly. Hey, Matt, thank you for that. Busy night for SA Police. Appreciate your time. We'll speak to you tomorrow.
Yep, thanks, Leith, and Merry Christmas to you and all the listeners as well.
Oh, you off?
Yep, off on a couple of weeks' holidays.
Beautiful.
But back for Christmas Day. Had Christmas off last year, so I'm taking my turn this year.
That is awesome. Well, have a great time with your family. Thanks for all the work you've done for 5AA throughout the year, and we'll speak to you soon.
Yeah, thanks, Leith.
Thanks so much. Senior Constable Matt Brown from SAPOL. Busy night from car fires and arson arrest to an arrest there at the golf course. Let's check in with the senior forecaster, Simon Timke at the Bureau. Morning to you, Simon.
G'day, Leith.
Hey, cracking start to the day.
Look, it was a beautiful sunrise, wasn't it?
Beautiful.
And look, and a similar day to yesterday on the way for the Adelaide area. Looking at the satellite picture at the moment, we've got a little bit of cloud pushing up from the south, but I'm sure we'll see some breaks in it and a little bit of sunshine at times too. A couple of light showers down around the southern hills and suburbs. Look like there's a couple just down the sort of Noarlunga, Kaipo sort of area at the moment, but they'd be pretty light. Wouldn't expect any significant totals out of those, but one or two light showers around those southern hills and suburbs. Temperatures similar to yesterday. Pretty cool day here in the city. We're currently sitting on 12.7 after our overnight low of 11.3, forecasting a maximum of 20 degrees for the city, 20 as well for Glenelg, 21 Elizabeth, 17 for Mount Barker and 19 degrees for Noarlunga. And the wind's persisting from the south to southeast, be a little bit fresh at times and getting strong on the metro waters. So we've got a strong wind warning out for for today for the metropolitan waters, forecasting south to southeasterly 10 to 15 knots, becoming southerly 15 to 20 knots around the middle of the day, increasing to 20 to 25 knots during the afternoon, and reaching 20 to 30 knots north of Grange late afternoon, early evening. So getting a bit choppy out in the waters later on in the afternoon. And then temperatures gradually rising over the next few days. 21 partly cloudy for Thursday, then sunshine for Friday and the weekend. 24 for Friday, 28 for Saturday, 35 for Sunday. So hot day on the way for Sunday.
They are indeed. Who's calling you, knowing that you're on air now?
Oh, the phones are always ringing in here, Leith.
Wow. Hey, just on that too, UV index, I guess something for people to take note of, and they have been doing that in the months leading into summer, Simon, but I guess it would be extreme this week with a burst of heat.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so it's getting pretty high now, so definitely time to get the sunscreen on and T-shirts and and hats and everything, Leith.
Beautiful. Do
Cover
the right
up.
thing. Absolutely. I'll let you go answer the phone. Thanks, Simon. Speak to you
Thanks,
tomorrow.
Leith.
All the best. Senior forecaster Simon Timke at the Bureau. So again, the nice weather continuing. 20 degrees and partly cloudy, as Simon mentioned. 12 degrees right now, right up to the weekend. 28 for Saturday, 35 for Sunday. And sunny, how good is that? And then, of course, the kids have started the school holidays, so even better. Happy days. 5 to 7 now.
No one likes to wait, especially if you're waiting for something really amazing, like a new Mazda. Lucky, you won't have to wait too long at Mawson Lakes Mazda. Right now, you'll find new stock and demos right across the range, which means there's no compromise. You'll get everything you want and love in your new Mazda. Get behind the wheel of your dream Mazda sooner. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city.
For the freshest seafood this Christmas, it has to be Samtas. Factory direct SA freshly cooked crayfish from $75.99 a kilo. Cooked SA king prawns large only $29.99 a kilo. Samtas Seafood open 7 days, Richmond Road, Richmond.
So some people call Australia the lucky country, but not so many are young people. They don't feel as lucky as those who built this country or who arrived after leaving their homeland. Right now, only half of all young people are positive about the future. Most of them worry they don't have the skills that are needed to get a job, and that is why the work of Youth Opportunities is so vital. Now, for 24 years, Youth Opportunities have been helping young Australians become personal leaders and take positive control of their lives. They give them lifelong skills, habits, and most importantly, the confidence to thrive, whatever their circumstances might be. But they can't do it alone. Your donation really helps them continue the outstanding work that they do. So please donate today, and you can do so at youthopportunities.com.au.
Here's your cuppa, Bev.
Thanks, Barry. Looks like the neighbours are clearing out early.
Bev and Barry are grey nomads. They love a roadside campsite, a cuppa in the morning, and watching the other adventurers come and go.
Hey, Barry, looks like they're getting pretty close to that tree.
Oh, they'll need to visit Walker Crash Repairs, Bev. You can always relax on the road with Walker Crash Repairs, an RAA-approved crash repairer for caravans and cars.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head online to 5AA Facebook or search 5AA on YouTube. Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, safety and style to South Australian homes for over 40 years. Gliderol.com.au. You're listening to 5AA Breakfast with Leith Forrest.
Morning, everyone. 3 minutes to 7, sitting in for David and Will. The final show for them coming up this Friday from 6 o'clock. Before we get to the 7 o'clock news, let's speak to my next guest, the CEO of the SA Independent Retailers. He's had enough. He's going to do something about it. Colin Shearing. Morning, Colin.
Yeah, good morning, Leith. How are you?
I'm well.
I've also got Carol Haslam here with me if you'd like to talk to her as well.
Yep.
She's a tourist operator here in South Australia, well-known tourist operator.
Well, we can do that. Let's talk to you very quickly first if we can, though, Colin, because 4 years of chaos, that's it. You've had enough. You're going to do something about it.
Well, look, it's not, excuse me, it's not just the 4 years of chaos. I mean, the small business sector needs a voice in Parliament. It doesn't have one at the moment. We have 143,000 small businesses across the state. We don't have a small business minister. In fact, I think we've had one in the last 20 years. And that's a sad indictment on the small business sector here in South Australia. They employ 320,000 people, 36% of the total workforce here in South Australia, and yet we don't have anyone in Parliament that has a specific platform of small business, and we need a voice in Parliament.
So it's one of the great drivers of our state, isn't it, when it comes to small business? So you're giving them the voice.
Yes, it's correct. It's a huge driver of the economic situation in South Australia. You know, the private business sector actually drives 90% of the state's economy. And it saddens me to think that even the small business sector is not even represented on the State Transition Committee. Peter Malinauskas made a statement yesterday. He didn't go far enough. You know, he said the Premier, if he was to be Premier, he would actually be making sure that he's on the State Transition Committee. But neglected to say that the very important sector of the economic recovery here in South Australia is the small business sector, and they need to be clearly on that State Transition Committee.
So are you calling for the small business community to join you then as you run for the Legislative Council?
Absolutely. This is a historic day for the small business community here in South Australia, and Carol Haslam and myself are going to be running and recalling on the trial the small business community to unite and crusade with us to Parliament. They need their voice. They need to be represented in Parliament, South Australia.
Do you have a motto, Colin?
Yes. Look, our motto, we come together on the motto of defend local business. It's everyone's business. Indeed, it is everyone's business. Big business needs small businesses, and small business attracts big business. Without small business, we have no jobs. We just end up with a social state. That's all we've got. Let's get behind our businesses. Let's support local, as we should be. Let's bring manufacturing back into South Australia. You know, let's be part of the solution and not be disregarded and disrespected, by the way, by government.
Okay. Colin, when we have more time, we'll get you on. We'll get Carol on. We'll talk more about this because no doubt you are fighting the good fight for the independent businesses. As you say, there's been 4 years of it. You need some certainty. You want a stronger voice when it comes to Parliament. That's why you are running as an independent candidate for the Legislative Council in next year's state election. We wish you well. And again, apologies, Colin, we are strapped for time. I know you've got a busy morning, but we'll get you back on. And as you say, we'll try and end the chaos, bring back some certainty ahead of the state election. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Leith.
All the best. Colin Shearing, the CEO of the South Australian Independent Retailers, who is doing something about it, putting himself where he's been talking about it, trying to fight the good fight for the independent businesses, and we'll watch that with interest leading into the state election. We'll take a break. 7 o'clock news on the way with Mel. Jace has the latest in sport for us. And on the other side, Crow star Jimmy Rowe, who's going to ride with Dad for the Make-A-Wish Foundation on Saturday.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's FIVEaa.
Partly cloudy and 20 today with the 7 o'clock news. I'm Mel Usher.
Had a bingle driving to work? Contact premierpanel.com.au. RAA approved crash repairer.
The man has been charged with arson following a house fire at Huntfield Heights. Senior Constable Matt Brown says crews were called to the property on Cumberland Crescent around 11:30 last night.
Upon arrival, police located the front window had been smashed and fire damage had been caused to the window frame and furniture inside the home. Fire was extinguished by the occupants of the house by using bottles of water.
No one was hurt. It was not a random incident. A 31-year-old man from Morphett Vale has been refused bail and will front court today. And a car fire at Enfield is being treated as suspicious. The Holden was reported alight under a carport on Truscott Road around 1 a.m. Investigations are continuing. A warning to drivers today to slow it down. According to the RAA, more motorists are caught speeding in summer than any other season. January is the worst month of the year for speeding offences, followed by December. SA has 2 powerful new weapons in its firefighting arsenal. A pair of Black Hawk helicopters will join the fleet of resources. Emergency Services Minister Vincent Tarzia says they can each carry up to 4,000 litres of water.
We know that they can refill from a tank or a dam in just 35 seconds. These Black Hawks are the first of their kind in the country. They're based in the Adelaide Hills. They're on contract for an 84-day period, but of course there is scope to use those outside of that period as well.
The International Olympic Committee says it hopes all athletes will be given a chance to compete at the Winter Olympics in Beijing in the wake of boycott threats. The United States has announced a full diplomatic boycott, meaning no officials will attend, however athletes will still be sent. IOC member Juan Antonio Samaranch says they always ask for as little political interference as possible.
We have to respect the political decisions taken by political bodies all around the world.
So that about the United States and any other country that might decide.
It's been a record year for film and television production in Australia. 9's Sarah Bora has more.
Film crews began migrating down under as Australia became one of the world's safest places to shoot throughout the pandemic. The value of the industry surged to a record $1.9 billion last year. Screen Australia's annual survey of drama production shows foreign projects were worth about $1 billion alone. 23 local projects that were postponed when COVID first struck started filming last financial year.
The father of the armourer on Alec Baldwin's movie Rust is adamant his daughter is not to blame for the fatal shooting. Thel Reid has broken his silence with a TV interview on America's ABC network. He says she shouldn't have had two jobs on the movie.
At one time, they should have had her on set. She'd have rechecked that gun. If there was a live round place there, she would have found it.
You have confidence that Hannah would have checked that gun one more time had she been in the church?
She knows what to do.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Fluorio milk comes from local cows and it's bottled here in SA. So look for the local Fluorio Milk Company.
And it's over to Jace Kemp.
Thank you, Mel. To cricket first, and the Strikers have suffered an agonising loss in the Big Bash, falling short by 2 runs against the Renegades. Adelaide unable to capitalise on Melbourne's batting collapse after they lost 6 wickets in just 12 balls.
You'd be annoyed walking out there and they're getting told to go back. Change of pace again, another easy catch. Tell you what, that is a big wicket.
Still on cricket, and the first Ashes Test gets underway at the Gabba this morning. England has suffered a major blow with bowler Jimmy Anderson ruled out due to a calf strain. England's wicketkeeper Joss Butler says it will be a challenge.
I think Australians tend to play well here. Obviously lost to India recently at this venue, so it proves it's not impossible to beat Australia here.
To footy, and pre-season training resumes for the Power this morning. Ruckman Scott Lycett has been impressed with Port's new recruits. Lycett telling Rowie former North Melbourne vice-captain Trent Dumont has been a standout.
He's come over as a delisted free agent, and he's very fit and flying on the track at the moment, actually, to be honest. I'm surprised how well he's going, so be interested to see how he goes next year. And
to soccer, and Premier League club Tottenham is dealing with a COVID-19 outbreak after several players and staff tested positive. In the Champions League, Paris Saint-Germain thumped Bruges 4-1, while Liverpool is 1-0 down against AC Milan. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now checking 5AA traffic.
The Glenelg BMW opening event is on now. Exceptional opportunities across the range. Visit Glenelg BMW today.
At Wingfield, got a smash on the Salisbury Highway near the Port River Expressway. Henley Beach Military Road is closed for works. That's between Henley Beach Road and Main Street. Detours in place. Dry Creek at Ashford works on the Salisbury Highway near Kidman Road. And Myrtle Bank speeds are reduced for works around the intersection of Cross Road, Glen Osmond Road and Port Rush Road. Look out for cameras Nan Road at Woodside, Mount Lofty Summit Road at Crayfus. With only 2 weekends till Christmas, Michael Hill has your gift shopping sorted. Enjoy 15% off selected necklaces and earrings and give a gift they'll treasure. Hurry into Michael Hill. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Enter for the $4 million grand prize at stjohnlottery.com.au. Ends midnight Sunday.
A partly cloudy Wednesday on the way with a top of 20, much the same tomorrow 21, then Friday mostly sunny 24. Right now it's 13 degrees. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, safety and style to South Australian homes for over 40 years. Gliderol.com.au. You're listening to 5AA Breakfast with Leith Forrest.
Morning everyone, 7 minutes after 7, sitting in for David and Will, returning on Friday for the final show for 2021. Later in the show, Lisa McCune, who's coming to Adelaide for a new State Theatre Company performance of The Girl from the North Country. It's all about Bob Dylan, music and lyrics, so you'll love that. We'll also get the latest weather. We'll check in with John Blake and check the traffic and the fuel for you too as you're making your way through the morning. We have been discussing, you would have heard the promos on air. You would have been listening to the sports show, no doubt, throughout the week. As you know, our own Stephen Rowe's pulling on the lycra for the North Point Toyota Rowe's ride to Rusden. It is for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, a cause that is near and dear to his heart. He's been a volunteer rowie for 28 years. It's remarkable. He'll be joined by 28 other riders this Saturday. So 28 years, 28 riders. It's an epic ride from Highmarsh Square here, just out the front of 5AA to the Rusden Winery in the Barossa, and we would love your support. So you can donate. Now, first night, there was tickets to go and see the Strikers and the Renegades in a box with some food and some drinks. So that was fantastic last night. It was it was vouchers, and it was also some Crows memorabilia. So tonight, another terrific prize for you to donate and to auction. mycause.com.au/Rowie is the website address if you want to do that. So do that from 4 o'clock. But we thought we would catch up with one of the riders who's going to just sidle up with Stephen Rowe, put the Leica on this weekend. The odd 100k ride from Adelaide to the Barossa. I don't think he's going to ride all of it because he's got a pretty important day job. That would be James Rowe from the Adelaide Crows. Jimmy, good morning.
Hey, Leith, how are you?
I'm very well. Hey, Dad, as you know, puts a little bit of mayo on things when he talks on the radio. He said you've got no bike, you've got no helmet, you're not a great rider. How are you going to go on the ride this weekend?
Yeah, no, that's not very far away from the truth, to be honest. I got a bike. I'm borrowing a bike from one of my sister's friends. I don't have shoes yet, and I'm still looking for shorts. So I guess I am a bit underprepared, but I'm looking forward to jumping on the bike and with all the other 27 riders, I think it is. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure I'll be all right.
Do you get out on the bike? Do you enjoy it? Like Dad, to his credit, has just busted himself the last few weeks to prepare for this. Every day, 50-plus rides with Paddy Carpenter up the hills to make sure he does not want to finish last in this peloton.
Yeah, no, Dad does really enjoy it. To be honest, I haven't really got into bike riding. I'm more of a runner. I'm sure if Dad could still run, he probably would run. But Dad's been getting into bike riding for a while now. So to his credit, he has been training very hard, and I'm sure he's not going to be the last to finish. If it's going to be anyone, it will probably be me, to be honest. But I don't think I'll be able to do the full ride.
Well, he's hoping to lead out. I think everyone's just hoping to just slip into his slipstream. So get a nice ride into the Barossa on that. You know, Charlie Walsh used to flog the Crows in the old days in the sweat room there on the bike. So this is good preparation for you.
Yeah, Dad did say that he used to do a few sweat sessions back at the Crows. But, if Dad goes out early, he's a nice little slipstream to sit behind. He'll still a bit of the wind, but
How many people fit in that slipstream, do you think? Just a couple? Just one after the other?
Probably 3 or 4.
He'll love that. Hey, 28 years Dad's been involved with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and you would know Frank Jacobiak and all the great team at Make-A-Wish so well because he's been doing it longer than you've been alive. I mean, it's incredible, not only the team here for Make-A-Wish in Adelaide, but your dad's involvement.
Yeah, it's really incredible. He's been there for, I think, 28 years now. It's been my whole life. I remember as a young kid selling Christmas trees at Glenelg Football Club for the foundation. It's been part of our family for a long time, and it's a wonderful cause, helping critically ill children get their wishes. I guess it's something that Dad's really passionate about. So it's wonderful, and I guess the amount of money he's raised for this foundation, I think it's close to $75,000 now. It's for times which have probably struggled with COVID and stuff. I'm sure it's going to go a long way to helping fulfill many children's wishes. So, it's a credit to him, and I'm happy to help him out.
Well said. It's such a great effort, as you say, up to the 70,000, trying to get as many and as much money as they can because it has been tough with COVID, no gala ball. You're right, the family, and this is what I love too about your family, is that you all get involved. It's not just Stephen on his own. You know, Mum Jodie's going to be involved. I know your sisters, Tori and Jem, they'll also get involved, and you're riding it too. I know Nixie was on the sports show on Monday and didn't want you to ride the whole 100Ks, but you'll ride some part of it for the charity. So that's terrific. The whole family can get around the cause.
Yeah, we had a little meeting last night, a little family meeting, and everyone's getting on board. We're all happy to help out. I would love to ride the 106 kilometres, but with training at the moment, I don't think it's going to be too viable. I'll probably have a bit of a sore bum on Monday, and it'll probably affect my training. But the whole family's on board, and we're all looking forward to Saturday.
Well done. How's Dad going? Because he's shattered. The weight just hasn't fallen off. He expected to be sort of ripped like you AFL players.
Yeah, well, I try and tell him it's. I think I know my dietitian tells me 80% diet, 20% exercise. So Dad's doing the 20% exercise. But if you saw what was on his dinner plate and what was on his dessert plate after dinner, that's probably what's hurting him at the minute. But
I do feel
he's
for
training
him.
very hard.
I do feel for him because he is. And we see him every day. He comes in the Lycra. He's been riding and he said, I rode Lofty today, or I did Menglers today. I've done this. I've ridden 50Ks, but the weight's just not dropping off. And there's a little charity chocolate bin here at work, Jimmy, that always looks nervous when he walks past. So you might be onto something there with the percentages of the 80 and the 20. Hey, while I've got you, can we talk about you and a bit of footy stuff? Because while his weight necessarily isn't shedding at the moment, Nixie did say that you're flying with the pre-season. You've dropped some weight. You've got a lot stronger. How is pre-season going?
Yeah, pre-season's gone very well. All the boys come back in very good nick. Burjo's really getting us running hard, but it's been very enjoyable to be back. Off-season we finished, I think it was early September, so it's all the boys were itching at the bit to get back into it. So, really loving it. And, it's almost Christmas, so before we know it'll be March and we'll be playing trial games. So.
I think 100 days away or something from round one. Did he put the fear of God into the players? There's so much talked about Darren Burgess, this legendary figure when it comes to fitness. Did you notice straight away when he walked in the door that things had changed for this pre-season?
Yeah, he definitely has made a bit of a change, which is good. He definitely knows what he's talking about. He's got great experience. I think he was over in Liverpool and Arsenal, so he definitely knows what he's talking about. And a lot of boys are running some of their best times. So
well done.
He's been awesome for us so far, but only a little bit so far. So looking forward to getting into footy.
Oh, can't wait. Can you believe it too? Like, we sort of pinch ourselves. I've known you your entire life as a young kid who used to come here to work, pinch all the footies that were sent to us. I think Dad had 15 Sharons in your bedroom as a kid growing up. You're now an AFL player. You're living your dream. It's just the best.
Yeah, I still pinch myself sometimes. I think that's the best thing about it is pretty much every single player in the AFL is living their dream. So I'm very lucky, but I guess I've got the opportunity now. I've just got to make the most of it. So all the hard work keeps on going, and just loving every bit of it.
Well done. Well, we are proud of you as a station. We're proud of you as a state. Like everyone that's got an involvement with your family and with your dad, we love what you're doing. Have a great festive season. Continue to burn it up on the track for the pre-season. Try and help out Dad on the ride. And well done again, too, for putting your hand up for this. This is, as I say, the Rows do this. One in, all in. From Crow's Christmas carols where your sisters get stage fright. Once one row is in, you're all in. So you're all doing it for a terrific cause. Good luck with the ride Saturday. Well, you probably start in the city, maybe just ride the middle bit in the car and then just come home strong in the Barossa.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you, and thanks for all your support. And, everyone keep donating. It's a wonderful cause. So I might see you on Saturday morning, Leith. Thank you.
Good on you, Jimmy. Have a great day. Thanks so much. All the best with the ride. Jimmy Rowe, Crow Star, son of our own Stephen Rowe. He's part of the North Point Toyota Rowe's Ride to Rusden for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Rowe and James and 27 other riders are riding from FIVEaa here in Highmarsh Square all the way up to Rusden Winery. So it's a good part of 100Ks. Matthew Nix, Crow's coach, was on the show on Monday, and I think he'd prefer that James doesn't ride the entire 100. That doesn't quite go with the pre-season plan, but he'll certainly ride a fair chunk of that. And if you'd like to support Rowie, if you'd like to support James, the Make-A-Wish Foundation, all of the riders who are doing it for the right cause, and we want to make these wishes come true. It's been a tough year for Make-A-Wish with COVID. You can do so by listening into the Drive Show again today from 4 o'clock. Find out about the brilliant auction items. If you love your cricket, there's a chance of a bat flip. We've got some Grange to give away. So all of that and more from 4 o'clock. mycause.com.au/Rowie is the website address where you can donate. The page couldn't be easier. There's little buttons for you to click, $10, $20, whatever you can spare. Please help out Make-A-Wish because they do incredible work. James mentioned that he was actually selling the Christmas trees as a young man with Dad at the Glenelg Footy Club. That's on again in the next coming weekend. So there are places where you can go. The Norwood Hotel car park. They've got Mercedes-Benz at Malvern and the Glenelg Footy Club. So this coming weekend, December 11 and 12. The following Saturday and Sunday, December 18 and 19. So Norwood Hotel, Glenelg Football Club, Mercedes-Benz. I think it's about $70, $75 a tree. All of the money goes towards Make-A-Wish. So help out if you can. mycause.com.au/Rowie and get behind the North Point Toyota Rowie Ride to Rusden. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you, James, and thank you to the Crows. I know they're busy this morning with their pre-season training at West Lakes for allowing Jimmy to come on and talk about the ride. Let's check the traffic. We'll do this for the drive-in this morning, or indeed if you're David and Will and you've just got out of 7 days of quarantine and you are seeing the sights, it's for Glenelg BMW. If you've got an existing BMW service, inclusive package where you can book your next day service at Glenelg BMW.
At Crayford's got a breakdown on the freeway outbound near the Crayford's ramp. Wingfield got a smash on the Salisbury Highway near the Port River Expressway. Henley Beach Military Road is closed for works. That's between Henley Beach Road and Main Street. Detours in place. And Dry Creek asphalt works on the Salisbury Highway near Kidman Road. Got cameras this morning, Wellington Road, Mount Barker and Shannon Street at Birdwood. If you or a loved one are impacted by cancer, call Cancer Council on 13 11 20 for free confidential information and support, or search cancersa.org.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Leon Biner.
We are now edging closer and closer to 90% of the population fully vaccinated. If you were watching the cricket on TV last night, barely a mask to be seen in the crowd at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Now, New South Wales has recorded 208 new cases of COVID today.
9 till 12 weekdays.
Business SA, Martin Hazy.
South Australia can't exist in isolation.
As SA, as Leon Biner. As SA, as AA.
'Tis the season for sharing. Switch your household energy to Red Energy on a Qantas Red Saver plan today for a guaranteed share of 2 million Qantas points. That's on top of earning up to 15,000 bonus Qantas points just for making the switch, and 2 Qantas points per dollar spent on your energy bills when you pay on time. Call 131806 or visit redenergy.com.au for details. Energy fact sheets available at redenergy.com.au/EFS. T's and C's apply. Offer ends 16 December 2021.
When you're gone, who gets your vintage bottle top collection? The cricket bat you scored your first ton with? Or that precious family heirloom that's been handed down from generation to generation? If you don't have a will, you'll never know. Donlan Lawyers specialise in wills and estate planning. From the simplest to the most complex, one thing is certain. You can trust Donlan Lawyers to help protect your wishes. For wills and estate planning, visit donlanlawyers.com.au.
So whether you're a make-your-own-rules kind of family, you're a call-the-referee type family, Games World know that there is nothing quite as fun as family game time at Christmas. We clear the tables, we put the phones away, you deal out the cards and you let the games begin. I love Games World. They've got everything from those intricate strategy games to the hilarious party games. And if you're sick of being beaten by the dreaded Draw 4 card in Uno, you can get a game that puts you on the same team. They've got the Exit Series games available at Games World. We've got the new digital Pictionary where instead of drawing on the paper, you actually do it in the air. And it comes through your television and your devices. It's amazing. They've got it all. You can escape rooms, everything to do with board games. You can find it all at Games World. There's board games and card games. If you're the jigsaw type, you got time on your hands over summer, the Rubik's Cubes, chess, Finska, so much more at Games World. Perfect for the game lovers in your life. A lot of people doing that with COVID, more time on their hands. Get the kids off the devices, back into the games. Or you can also get something for a Kris Kringle if you have someone hard to buy for. 4 convenient locations. Games World, the new city store, Gawler Place, right in the right-hand side as you're sort of looking towards North Terrace. It's a beautiful new store. Tea Tree Plaza, Marion and Westlakes, or you can do them online at gamesworldsa.com.au.
Visit the Reject Shop for the cheapest snacks and essentials, with 400ml Morning Fresh, just $2. 150-gram bags of Bluebird chips for $2. And 500-gram pasta packs, only 50 cents. The Reject Shop, cheapest every day.
If you're going to test drive a new car, taking it around the block a few times, it's just not enough. So take a proper test drive at Jarvis Toyota Clovelly Park. The all-new Land Cruiser 300 boasts enhanced luxury and technology, making it a pleasure to drive both on and off-road. With a brand new 3.3-litre twin-turbo V6 diesel engine, it's the most powerful diesel Land Cruiser yet. Rediscover the road and take a proper test drive in the new Land Cruiser 300 at Jarvis Toyota, South Road, Clovelly Park. Proudly celebrating 20 years of great deals.
9 News is the one that's always been live and local. 9 News, made in Adelaide for Adelaide.
Billy, don't be a hero. Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, safety and style to South Australian homes for over 40 years. Gliderol.com.au. You're listening to 5AA Breakfast with Leith Forrest.
Morning everyone, sitting in for David and Will today and tomorrow. They're returning on Friday for the final show for 2021. It is the biggest game of will he or won't he. I'm talking about Novak Djokovic, or as Michaela and Rowie pronounce, Novak. Will he be here for the Australian Open? Christine Ahern is the Today Show in Melbourne. Christine, is there any chance that Novak is playing at the Aussie Open?
Leith, there certainly is. Good morning. This is certainly another twist, as you mentioned. Look, he could get a medical exemption, certainly being reported that he has grounds for it. Now, if he gets that, Tennis Australia wants him here. That means that he could play despite the Victorian government strongly saying that no player will be able to come to Melbourne Park unless they are fully vaccinated. Certainly, all spectators or workers, everyone coming to Melbourne Park need to be fully vaccinated. The only reason we're having the tournament in the first place is because of our high vaccination rate in Victoria. So, if Novak Djokovic manages to come using this loophole, it would be really interesting to see the response from the spectators, because after everything Melbourne's been through, I'd have to say it might be a bit frosty.
Christine, is it convenient, this loophole? All of a sudden we just find this loophole for Novak to get in and play the Aussie Open?
Well, look, I think Tennis Australia desperately want him here. I mean, he's the world number one, best player in the world, and he could break the record for the number of Grand Slams. He's sitting on 20, so, you know, what an achievement getting his 21st Grand Slam here at the Australian Open. But, you know, the Victorian government's not going to be happy about it. The Premier, Daniel Andrews, he's been really vocal about how all players need to be fully vaccinated. You might remember that the Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, when this debate was happening a month or two ago, said, oh, you know, if the Victorian government applies for an exemption, he could come and do hotel quarantine. And the Premier just hit that on the head and said, no way, Jose. So it's going to be interesting to see their reaction. As for what this medical exemption could be, we don't know, because Djokovic has repeatedly refused to reveal his vaccination status. He said it's a private matter. Just speculating, it could be the fact that he has already had COVID. And so he could say, look, I've had COVID, so now I'm immune. But I'm just speculating.
So we had the interesting situation, Christine, last year here in Adelaide, where he came out to the tournament, and he's a polarising figure, Novak Djokovic, because for every super fan that he has, there are others that he rubs up the wrong way. I'm with you. It will be fascinating to see if he gets this medical loophole to come through and play the Australian Open after everything that your Premier has been saying. It'll be interesting to see the kind of reception that he gets from the Melbourne Park crowd.
I think he could be booed, Leith. I think that's a strong possibility. Certainly, you know, you would know here at Melbourne Park over the years, we've got very passionate fans. You know, we've had flares, we've had fights. You know, it's not your typical tennis crowd that you might get at Wimbledon or something like that. So it's they're very vocal, they're very passionate, and you know, I think there's a very strong possibility if he comes here with that loophole. There's certainly a possibility that he could be booed, because this is something we feel very strongly about in Victoria. The longest lockdown in the world in Melbourne, and we're finally back in action simply because of our high vaccination rate. And if he's going to kind of jump the queue through this loophole, I don't know how he's going to be received. Thank you for your time this morning. If you're a betting lady, gamble responsibly. Is he here? Is he playing the Aussie Open? Yes. Wow. Gee whiz. TV figures will be through the roof. Thanks so much. Appreciate it, Christine. Thanks, Leith. All the best. Christine Ahern from the Today Show. You can see their report very shortly on the Today Show. Channel 9 have the tennis, so we'll wait and see how that all plays out. A medical exemption, a loophole for Novak to get into the Australian Open. He wants to win that 21st Grand Slam. He is the world number one. He's an incredible draw card. But will people cop that? Not so sure. Sean Fuster after the 7:30 news.
Life is a journey, and the path you choose is yours alone. Choose vitality and go with your local Go Vita. Go Vita health food shops are proud of their 30 years worth of health and wellness experience. It's what helps their natural health practitioners specialise in you. Go Vita is your destination for trustworthy, professional and personalised health and wellness advice, and an extensive range of products and services. Go Vita, Colonnades, Fairview Green, Marion, Mount Barker, Monopara, Semaphore and Tanunda.
There are nights when you enjoy listening to quiet, empty streets. Then there are nights when all you want to hear is a siren in the distance.
SA ambulance, what's your emergency?
Oh, but please help. My daughter's not breathing. I need an ambulance.
I'm organising.
The Marshall government cut $11 million of ambulance service funding in its first 2 years, leaving our ambulance service in crisis. South Australians are dying for more ambos.
Rosedale, Watkins Ambulance Employees Association of SA, Adelaide.
Hyundai Nailsworth, they know that life gets busy. If it's not work, then it's running your kids and your grandkids around. Of course, things really ramp up this time of year, which is why Hyundai Nailsworth would like to give you a bit of downtime, something you can really enjoy. They're calling it your life experience. So what will your life experience choice be? Maybe it's adventure, maybe it's family fun, a romantic getaway, or even a health and wellness treatment. If you buy any new Hyundai from Hyundai Nailsworth, you can choose your personal life experience. Now, some T's and C's do apply, and of course, this is only available at Hyundai Nailsworth. Why wouldn't you do it? It's the home of the Life Drive.
Hi, it's Jane Riley for ACH Group. I just thought I'd let you know about ACH Group's new Discover and Explore guide. It's out now and it's amazing. There's something for everyone with over 400 social experiences to choose from, including exciting day tours, art classes, fishing, golf and more. With ACH Group, you'll create new and meaningful social connections and experience our beautiful state. For more, visit achgroup.org.au. Good lives for older people.
G'day, it's Merv Hughes here. In my day, I loved battling the ponds, but these days, my missus is the enemy. Why? I snore really badly. But she saved the day by sending me for a CPAP direct sleep test. Now, the snoring is gone, I'm refreshed and revitalised.
CPAP Direct, now open at 600 Port Road, Allenby Gardens. From sleep studies to the latest CPAP gear at Adelaide's best prices. Sale on now.
If you snore or wake up tired, head to cpap.com.au.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head online to 5AA Facebook or search 5AA on YouTube. Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, safety and style to South Australian homes for over 40 years. Gliderol.com.au. You're listening to 5AA Breakfast with Leith Forrest.
Sitting in for David and Will, 29 minutes after 7. Wendy on the Mount Barker text line. Novak's arrogance knows no bounds. There should be no exceptions or exemptions. I can understand the anger. This may ensure from the decision. We will wait and see. No doubt, Rowie talking about that on the Sport Show tonight from 4. You can donate to mycause.com.au/Rowie if you'd like to help out the Make-A-Wish Foundation and the North Point Toyota Rowie's ride to Rusden last night. Ahead of today, day 1, first test for the Ashes. Rowie caught up with Channel 7's Trent Copeland.
First test, you little beauty at the Gabba. On the line is Channel 7's Trent Copeland. He's a former test bowler himself. Hey, you'd love a green top, overcast and humid, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah, it's a beauty at the Gabba, and particularly with the amount of wet conditions around in the lead-up to the match, but also likely overheads during the game. Hopefully there's not too many actual delays in play, but I think it's going to make for exciting cricket the whole way, which is what we want as fans.
Win the toss, you're doing what, Trent Copeland?
Oh, if you're thinking about bowling, think again and bat.
Yeah.
I always think that that's the way to go, and England have certainly, via Nasser Hussain, learnt the hard way in Australia, and particularly at the Gabba.
No Jimmy Anderson. They reckon he's got a calf. Give me a spell. He can't bowl on the Gabba. He's just waiting for the second test over here, Trent.
I don't know about that. The greatest fast bowler by wickets of all time. I think he's probably come over and been a little shy on preparation. The calf was stuff that was rumoured this morning, but it's since been publicised that the build-up was likely leading towards Adelaide being his first chance to play. He had a good 45 minutes straight bowl in the net yesterday and today. So it seems like, putting it bluntly, he wouldn't be doing that if he had a calf niggle. So I think all signs point to that being the case as far as just getting him right for Adelaide, where he's going to be really well suited.
Trent Copeland, Channel 7, speaking to Rowie last night. The test, day 1, gets underway at 10:30 our time. Green Monster, they're describing it there at the Gabba. Good luck to the 2 South Australians involved, and Travis Head and Alex Carey. Mel and Jace with the news. On the other side, Sean Fuster around the courts.
This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Partly cloudy and 20 today with the 7:30 news. I'm Mel Usher.
Had a bingle driving to work? Contact Premier Panel Services at premierpanel.com.au.
The World Health Organisation is cautioning against mandatory COVID vaccines. The WHO's top European official has stressed there is a need for increased vaccine uptake to drive down cases worldwide, but Hans Kluge says mandates should be an absolute last resort.
Mandates should never contribute to increasing
social inequalities in access to health and social services.
Charges have been laid following a house fire at Huntfield Heights. The property on Cumberland Crescent was targeted around 11:30 last night. Senior Constable Matt Brown says a man will front court today.
After further investigation, Southern District detectives arrested a 31-year-old Moffat Vale man and charged him with arson, and he was refused bail to appear in the Christie's Beach Magistrates Court later today.
It was not a random incident. And a car fire in the northern suburbs is under investigation. The Holden was torched while parked under a carport on Truscott Road at Enfield around 1 a.m. Breaking into the property market is getting harder in SA. The latest real estate housing affordability report shows the number of first home buyers here dropped by 21.6% in the September quarter. Industry President Adrian Kelly says a number of factors are at play.
It's getting much harder for first home buyers to save for their deposit, and they also need to save for their stamp duty as well. And as prices rise, deposit and stamp duty both rise as well, but wages and salaries aren't keeping up. The other thing which is happening is the lack of available new listings coming to market.
2 Black Hawk helicopters are joining SA's fleet for the bushfire season. They can each carry up to 4,000 litres of water and reach speeds of up to 360 k's per hour. Emergency Services Minister Vincent Tarzia says it's a huge boost to our capabilities.
Black Hawks, we know, are revolutionary firefighting assets. They're fast, they're agile, they have pinpoint accuracy. But we're evolving South Australia's defence against bushfires this summer. The only thing better than one Black Hawk is 2, and we've got those locked in.
Young doctors and nurses who move to rural and remote areas could have their entire university debt paid for as a thank you for helping fill critical vacancies. Nine's Kiara Parker reports.
Doctors and nurses who choose to work in regional Australia could have their university debt cleared by the federal government. From January 1, the government will incentivise graduates to start working outside metro areas and major regional centres in an attempt to fill critical GP shortages in the bush. The Herald Sun reports doctors who move to more remote areas, including Murrayville in Victoria, will get their debt paid off if they stay for at least half as many years as their degree took to complete. It would only take nurses a year. Meanwhile, those who move to smaller towns such as Horsham or Echuca would clear their debt if they stayed for at least the duration of their degree. It's hoped boosting the ranks of rural GPs will also help smaller hospitals.
A man accused of being involved in the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi has been arrested in France. He's one of 26 people wanted by Turkey for the killing at the Saudi consulate in Istanbul in 2018. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Fluorio milk comes from local cows and it's bottled here in SA. So look for the local Fluorio Milk Company.
Here's Jace Kemp.
Thank you, Mel. To the Big Bash first, and the Strikers have lost their opening match of the season to the Melbourne Renegades. Adelaide falling short by 2 runs on the last ball of the game.
Here we go, 6 to win it. They need it. Daniel Drew. It's in the slot, it's in the air. Will it get there? It shouldn't. Merlo comes back, he throws it in, and that's it. That is a big win for the Melbourne Renegades.
Still on cricket, and the first Ashes Test gets underway at the Gabba later this morning. Cricket legend Ian Chappell believes the Aussies will have the upper hand in the batting attack. Chappell telling Wide World of Sports England will be relying on 2-star batters.
In Root and Stokes, and they are going to rely heavily on the other guys, and I'm not sure how good they'll be against a very strong Australian attack.
To tennis, Novak Djokovic could still play at the Australian Open with a medical exemption after confirming a spot for Sydney's ATP Cup. Tennis great Todd Woodbridge says the world number 1 returning to Melbourne Park is a good thing for the sport.
He's put his name on the entry list, and that means you've got to believe that he's coming all the way through the summer, and I think that's good for tennis. For Novak fans, they'll be rejoicing, and I think also for the Sydney fans.
Aussie basketballer Dante Exum has signed a short-term deal with Barcelona in Spain, while finally in the Champions League, Liverpool is tied 1-1 with AC Milan. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now checking 5AA traffic.
Do you have an existing BMW service inclusive package? Book your next day service at Glenelg BMW.
At Wingfield got a smash on the Port River Expressway near Hanson Road. Delays both directions there. Henley Beach, Military Road is closed for works. That's between Henley Beach Road and Main Street. D2 is in place. And Dry Creek got asphalt works on the Salisbury Highway near Kidman Road. Look out for cameras, Shannon Street, Birdwood, Happy Valley Drive at Happy Valley. The Glenelg BMW opening event is on now. Discover exceptional opportunities across the new demonstrator and pre-owned range. Visit Glenelg BMW on Brighton Road today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Enter for the $4 million grand prize at stjohnlottery.com.au. Ends midnight Sunday.
Partly cloudy 20 today, much the same tomorrow 21. Friday sunny and 24. Right now it's 13 degrees. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, safety and style to South Australian homes for over 40 years. Gliderol.com.au. You're listening to 5AA Breakfast with Leith Forrest.
Good tune, 22 minutes to 8, sitting in for David and Will. The final breakfast, 5AA Breakfast, this coming Friday from 6 a.m. Both David and Will out of home quarantine, both tested negative. So we think from 12 o'clock this morning, 12:01, David was enjoying himself a stack of pancakes at the Pancake Kitchen, maybe sneaking into Cafe de Villiers or the Coles at Grode Street and just enjoying some freedom there. Just before we get to Sean, a couple of text messages coming through on the Telstra Store Murray Bridge text line. Greg says, bloody hell, we need some positive news stories. Look at Novak as a good story, a positive story. We need to rise above the hate and finger pointing. I'm stoked that he will come across. He loves Australia, loves Australians and wants to play. It's a good news story. Well, Greg, it is for the fans. It's good for Novak. Not so sure it's great for those people who've done the right thing, and some people get different rules to others. While on the flip side, Elkie says no doctor should perjure themselves to give Novak an exemption. The player has made it clear that he doesn't want to have the vaccine. Now, as Christine Ahern from the Today Show on Channel 9 said, he may have had COVID, he may have antibodies, and that's the medical loophole that he'll get through. But we shall wait and see. He's put his hand up for the ATP Cup, and we'll see if he gets to Australia for the Aussie Open. Sean Fuster, always great to catch up. 5AA Breakfast on a Wednesday. Court reporter, the chief court reporter for the Tizer. Sean, good morning.
Good morning, mate. We're not talking about soundtracks today.
No, I know. Thank you for doing that, by the way. People heard it last weekend or the weekend before. Sean was kind enough to do the show I do on a Sunday where we played the songs. Did you get any feedback? People enjoyed your music?
I did very much indeed. Lots of people commented that they learned a couple of things about me and didn't realise my musical taste was so abhorrent. So I think that's a win.
It's a win for sure. 12 to 4 if you want to tune in this weekend, or we'll try and play some again over the summer. Sean is here for Crime Stoppers SA and Police Credit Union, supporting better communities. crimestoppersa.com.au. Sean, what's the latest with Harrison Kitt?
Yeah, look, this was a very, very fraught court case on Monday. The families of Joanne Shanahan, the former chief superintendent of SA Police, and Tanya McNeil, the two women that were killed in the crash at Urbray a couple of years ago, finally got to give their victim impact statements in court. Now, of course, Harrison Kitt has been found not guilty by reason of mental incompetence, and listeners of Just Lawful will know exactly what that means, that you won't end up going to jail for it. You'll spend your time under mental health supervision for the same period you would if you were going to go to prison, because, of course, you're not guilty. You weren't found not criminally liable. That's very cold comfort to the Shanahan and McNeil families, pretty much all of whom said there can be no forgiveness for what you've done. You've accepted no responsibility for what you've done. We feel that we've been cheated. We feel that the court system and this entire process has silenced us. Don't ask us to forgive you, Harrison, because that's just another slap in the face and asking more of us. The only exception from that was Joanne's husband, Peter, who said, I choose to forgive, I choose to move forward, and I choose to celebrate what I had with Joanne rather than what I've lost through her death. It was a very powerful couple of hours in court, Leith.
No doubt. I don't know how I'd go in that personal situation myself, Sean. I don't know if I could forgive.
Well, it's interesting because yesterday we had the exact flip side of that then. We had the matter of Lucas Court. Lucas was a young man who was grappling with what he and his family thought was depression. He was trying to get assistance from doctors. They were telling him, you're just tired, you're fine, you'll be all right, it's just depression. And then in the grip of a schizophrenic episode, Lucas took a gun and shot his twin brother, his best friend, his soulmate, Jake, dead. And it was then discovered, oh, wait, he has schizophrenia. And so his mum, Deb, an amazing woman, has lived through the absolute worst nightmare a mother could have. Can you imagine that, Leith? One of your kids dies at the hand of your other kid.
No.
And then you've got to support that kid as he goes through mental health treatment because, again, it's not his fault. So the forgiveness that she's had to show there and the forgiveness that their entire extended family's had to show because it's happened within their family, you've got a similar sort of situation, but you've got one where complete strangers' lives have been devastated through mental health actions that led to irresponsibility, and then the most intimate family situation that's been detonated beyond all recognition because of the same.
Everyone faces tragedy, Sean, but some people are just so unfortunate that they have more than their share, and that is just the heartbreaking part of that story. As you say, you lose one, and yet because it's still your other child, I mean, imagine going through that.
Oh, look, Deb was telling us, she's like, I'm so proud of Lucas for everything that he's done to rehabilitate, that he's working hard, that he's, medicated, that he's doing all the right things. He's not getting out of custody anytime soon, He's still grappling with this horrible disease that is going to affect him for the rest of his life. And she said, as proud as I am of him, that never takes away from the sadness of losing Jake.
Oh, my
Just
Lord.
that twin edge there. You can read her words in today's Tizer, and if you go to the Tizer website, there's a video, 4.5-minute video, where Deb speaks to me about what she's gone through and how she feels. It's really compelling watching. You need to see it because it does put another piece of the puzzle for this entire concept of mental health and the law that Daniel and I have been exploring these past few weeks on Just Lawful.
I don't know how I'd cope. I don't know how I'd cope losing my child anyway, in any way, shape or form. But to lose like that, I don't know. It's
something you can't come back from. You can only move forward from. But what that moving forward looks like is going to be different for every individual. I completely feel for the Shanahan and McNeil families and understand exactly why they've taken the stance they have. And then on the flip side, I understand why Deb Watson has done the complete opposite when it comes to her boys.
Amazing. People love the show, Sean. You do Sunday 7 to 8, Just Lawful. Season finale this week?
That's right. We are coming up to the gritty end, so to speak, of the Cy Walsh documents incident. Listeners for the last couple of weeks will remember that I got granted access to thousands and thousands of pages about the death of Phil Walsh long before his son Cy had even come within sniffing distance of a trial for the alleged murder. What we're going to explore this week, now that we know what's in those documents, and if you haven't heard those episodes, go back on iTunes, Spotify, and the FIVEaa app and have a listen. What we're going to explore in this latest episode is what happened when the rest of Adelaide's media found out I had those documents. Because no journalist likes to be scooped. So when you know that the chief court reporter for the Advertiser has the inside skinny, what do you do to try to get those documents? And what was the fallout as a result for the court case? And we say this a lot about the Cy Walsh series. You won't believe what's about to happen next. And this one takes things in a completely different direction.
See, again, too, there's a family situation,
That's right.
I don't know.
That's right. And this is the thing that has divided Adelaide. The feedback we've received from this series, Daniel and myself, has been absolutely fascinating and so deeply appreciated. Some people are finding new aspects they didn't think of before. Other people are finding their opinions reinforced. Some think we're devils for even touching the hem of this cape. Others are thanking us for bringing new light to it. It's the series that has got everybody talking, and we're so grateful that people are listening and engaging and thinking and allowing us to challenge their preconceived notions about this case.
How does Meredith Walsh... I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how you do it, Sean, to be honest. I can't even talk about it.
Mate, it's like Lucas and Jake, isn't it? It's your husband, but it's your son.
I know. It's brutal. Hey, Sean, this is the last time I believe we might be speaking to you for the year. So thank you on behalf of David and Will, who I'm sure, they're celebrating their first days of freedom, but they would ask me to do this because you're such a great and integral part of 5AA Breakfast throughout the year. Look forward to more of that next year. And congratulations again to the work that you're doing with Just Lawful, because it is a must listen on a Sunday night, 7 to 8, also where people download their podcast. So congratulations on a cracking year, and thanks again.
Lee, thank you very much, and thank you all listeners. Have a great Christmas and New Year, and I'll see you all in 2022.
Good on you, Sean. Thank you so much. Sean Fuster, Chief Court Reporter for The Advertiser, part of the 5AA family. So popular too, his spots here on 5AA Breakfast with David and Will. And if you haven't tuned in, you can do so to the season premiere this Sunday between 7 and 8 of Just Lawful. And of course, you can catch up anywhere you download your podcast or get onto 5AA.com.au. We're going to take a short break. We'll check the weather with Amelia Mulcahy on the other side and the traffic for your drive into work.
Finally, you can get back to the Lion. Get back to the Lion for your end-of-year celebration in our dining room or one of our incredible event spaces. And if you book a midweek function before the end of December, you'll score a $200 Lion Hotel gift card. Head to lionhotel.com.au for details.
Back to the Lion.
Get back to the Lion for your end-of-year celebrations. Get back to where you belong. The Lion, North Adelaide.
This summer's biggest hits are at Adelaide Oval. All out. Yep, the whole family will be. It's a hat trick. Actually, it's your friends in blue wigs. Winners won't just be on the Oval. There's plenty of giveaways. There'll be classic catches and classic catch-ups with your mates. What a score! Kids tickets from $10. Plenty of cracking shots and fireworks in the sky. This Thursday night at 6:45. Reserve your seats today. Visit adelaidestrikers.com.au.
As we know, your home is your castle. A lot of people through COVID doing a lot more work to their home because, let's be honest, you're spending a lot more time there. If you're upgrading your kitchen, your laundry, maybe the outdoor appliances for the new year, perfect time for that outdoor celebration. You've got to choose Spartan Electrical. They're a family business. They offer customers a premium appliance retail experience across their 2 stores. Best of all, they're not just an in and out appliance store. It's more consultative. You take your time, you'll enjoy a coffee, and they will make your appliance selections with you. All the big brands too, from the premium and the exclusive. We're talking Wolf and Sub-Zero, to the more well-known brands and the everyday brands, Smeg, Fisher & Paykel, Westinghouse and Electrolux. Spartan offer these competitive prices with their premium service too. Spartan Electrical, they're your local family-owned kitchen, laundry and outdoor appliance retailer, and they've got 2 stores you can visit, Campbelltown and Torrensville, or do it online at spartanelectrical.com.au.
For the freshest seafood this Christmas, it has to be Samtas. Factory direct SA freshly cooked crayfish from $75.99 a kilo. Cooked SA king prawns large only $29.99 a kilo. Samtas Seafood open 7 days, Richmond Road, Richmond.
It isn't waste until you waste it. That's the catch cry from an amazing company called Eco Waste Solutions. Eco Waste Solutions is a hard waste recycling facility, not a dump, located at Williston. They'll take everything except hazardous waste and food scraps. They'll take your waste bricks, your mattresses, tyres, soil, timber, steel, concrete and more. Plus, if you pre-sort your load, you receive a 50% discount on disposal fees. Google Eco Waste Solutions Williston for more.
Don't just get a forklift. Get a Toyota forklift.
When you need a forklift, don't just get a forklift. Get a Toyota forklift. Get the world's #1 forklift brand. Get legendary Toyota reliability. Get world-leading safety. And get it from toyotamaterialhandling.com.au. Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. For sales, service and hire.
Get a Toyota forklift.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head online to 5AA Facebook or search 5AA on YouTube. Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, safety and style to South Australian homes for over 40 years. Gliderol.com.au. You're listening to 5AA Breakfast with Leith Forrest.
Sitting in for David and Will, 9 minutes to 8. Their final show of the year coming up this Friday. And then next week, summer breakfast starts and you're in for a treat because my next guest will join Mark Bickley, the old zippity-doo, Amelia Mulcahy from 7 News. Morning, Amelia.
Good morning, zippity-doo. I love it.
Zippity-doo-dah-day. You will love, as I know you do, working with Bix. But it's always fun, isn't it, summer breakfast time? You set the alarm early and away you go.
It is, and we've got some warm mornings on the way next week too. A bit of heat building over the weekend, and I'm not too phased about my first start on Monday because we will have a warm night going into that, so I guess that makes it just a little bit easier.
Right.
Probably not so warm for you this morning, though, Leith. We're in a bit of a midweek mild spell. We've got some cloud around this morning, and we have seen the odd spot about our southern hills and suburbs. Noarlunga's had just 0.2 of a millimetre in the gauge, Kaipo around 0.5 millimetre. But we're really looking at a day that's quite similar to yesterday. So going for a top of 20 degrees in the city, and that's more like a September or October day. The December average is around 27, so certainly quite cool. Tomorrow we're looking at 21, but then temperatures start to build. Mostly sunny Friday, 24, 28 by Saturday, up to 35 degrees on Sunday. So I guess if you're still, at work and you haven't gone on holidays just yet, you've got some beach weather timed perfectly for the weekend.
Amelia, I'm slightly concerned. Mark and I have similar complexions. We're both a bit pasty. He could come in very red on Monday morning after 35 on the weekend.
We'll have to give him a heads up, won't we?
You will. He'll be glowing.
I know how much he loves the weather. But
We'll see him glowing on Monday morning. Thanks, Amelia. Have a great day. We look forward to hearing you on Monday morning.
Thanks, Lee.
All the
See you
best.
soon.
Amelia Mulcahy from 7 News and sitting in with Mark Beckley for Summer Breakfast starting Monday. Time to hear the genius of John Blake, and we do this for Aussie Fast Transport Solutions, interstate freight, distribution, warehousing and your local Adelaide couriers. You can call Aussie Fast on 13 13 64.
Welcome to Mastermind. Could we have our first contestant, please? Please state your name and occupation.
Nicola Spurrier.
Grant Stevens. Nick Reid. Dr. Chris McGowan. David Reynolds.
Professor Mehdi Durudi.
We are the South Australian COVID-19 Transition Committee. Your special subject, how to run a state in an emergency, and your time starts now. When could South Australia hope to return to normal after an outbreak of a deadly virus?
When 80% of the population is fully vaccinated.
Yes,
80%.
That's right.
Yes,
80%. Correct. Now that our borders...
When 90% of the population are fully vaccinated.
Yes,
90%
sounds right to me. I think
that's
probably better than 80%. We might change that to 100%. We're not sure yet. Yes, we're not sure of the answer there. Our adjudicators are looking at it. Now that our borders are open, can we get back to normal? Absolutely, yes.
Oh, yes,
we
yes,
can
we
definitely
can.
get back to normal.
Definitely,
now.
yes,
The
we
borders
can.
are open, we can get back to normal.
No, we can't.
No, we can't.
No, I don't
think
so.
No, Correct. What are the quarantine considerations for people who are fully vaccinated?
They don't have to quarantine.
No, they have to quarantine. That's right. They do have to quarantine.
Yes, they do have to quarantine.
Sure, they have to quarantine.
They can quarantine at home.
Yeah, that's right. They have to quarantine in a Medi hotel.
Yes, that's right.
They have to quarantine in Western Australia.
Yes, that's right.
Correct. How long will mandatory QR coding be enforced for?
Forever.
No, that's not right. We're not going to do it forever. No way in the world.
Will be if I have my way.
But I'll overrule you, so that won't happen.
Yes.
Your answer, please?
We're not sure.
Correct. How serious is the Omicron variant?
Not very serious at all.
No. We're very concerned about it.
Yes.
That's right. I don't think we should worry about it.
No,
I don't either. No, that's right. I do. Correct. And after round one, no one knows what the hell you're talking about.
Excuse me?
Yes?
We'd like to change all of our answers, please.
Yes,
we do. We want to change them.
No, I'm sorry, your time's up and everybody's sick of you.
I don't want to change my answers.
And join us again next time on Mastermind.
It's funny because it's true. The genius of John Blake, you can hear more of that in full from 7 p.m. tonight when Blakey takes over the station for an hour. Let's check the traffic for Glenelg BMW, the opening sale event on now. Exceptional opportunities across their range. Visit Glenelg BMW today.
At Hectorville, got a crash on Hectorville Road causing a few delays this morning. Mile End South, got a smash on South Road near Deakin Avenue. Gillis Plains, collision on Grand Junction Road near Nelson Road. And Dry Creek asphalt works continue Salisbury Highway near Kidman Road. Cameras today, Shannon Street, Birdwood, Waverley Ridge Road at Crafers West. Watch the hottest end to an F1 season ever, plus over 50 sports live on KO for the red hot price of $5 for 2 months. KO Basic and new customers only, offer ends December 13. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on FIVEaa.
The new Kia Niro hybrid SUV has landed.
It combines a smooth and efficient blend of petrol and electric power without the need for external charging. It's a no-compromise SUV with outstanding fuel economy, low emissions, tons of comfort, and impressive versatility. The new Kia Niro Hybrid SUV, available for immediate delivery. Check with your local Kia dealer for details.
Kia, movement that inspires. So, why go with NRG Solar?
My contact with NRG Solar was through the receptionist who made an appointment for us and let us know exactly the date that people were coming to implement the system. They came punctually on the day. They communicated with us. They told us how to use the meter and so on, and overall cleaned up after themselves. We were very happy with the service provided by NRG Solar.
Visit nrgsolar.com.au.
Well, this Christmas you can give the gift of pristine coastlines, breathtaking views, crystal clear blue water, Australian wildlife up close. You've got tours, special experiences from dining under an enchanted fig tree to quad biking. You can even swim with the dolphins with Tony Coppins and the team. Give a SeaLink gift voucher and you can enjoy all that Kangaroo Island has to offer. Embarrassingly and shamefully, I'm like Cersei from Game of Thrones, walking down the street with people yelling shame. I've never been to KI. I've got to go. It ticks all the boxes and a perfect Christmas gift for friends, for family, or like me, buy it for yourself. SeaLink gift vouchers start from $20. They can be redeemed against any product offered by SeaLink in SA. That includes your ferry travel, the tours, the holiday package, accommodation, and so much more. And the gift vouchers, best of all, no hurry because they're valid for 3 years. Super easy to organise. Visit sealink.com.au. Buy your gift voucher online. The website's so easy to use. Get around it, navigate. Very insightful too. Visit sealink.com.au.
There are nights when you enjoy listening to quiet, empty streets. Then there are nights when all you want to hear is a siren in the distance.
SA ambulance, what's your emergency?
Oh, but please help. My daughter's not breathing. I need an ambulance.
I'm organising...
The Marshall government cut $11 million of ambulance service funding in its first 2 years, leaving our ambulance service in crisis. South Australians are dying for more ambos.
Authorised L. Watkins Ambulance Employees Association of SA, Adelaide.
9 News is the one that's always been live and local. 9 News, made in Adelaide for Adelaide.
Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, safety and style to South Australian homes for over 40 years. Gliderol.com.au. You're listening to 5AA Breakfast with Leith Forrest.
Minute to 8, sitting in for David and Will, the final show of the year, Friday morning from 6 a.m. Text message from Georgia and Maddie. How have you never been to Kangaroo Island? I know. I'm really sorry. It's shameful, to be honest. I do need to go. It's so beautiful, and you hear David and Will talk about just how great it is. You can do it via SeaLink, so why wouldn't you do that? A couple of text messages on the Mount Barker Telstra store text line before we get to Mel and Jace with the news and sport. Adrian says it looks like anyone getting in big trouble these days can just flip the mental health card and escape conviction, punishment in most cases. And Bob says anyone who commits a serious crime now is going to be able to use the damage psych defence. It is a bloody joke. There's a lot of people with that sort of sentiment. We do need to take mental health seriously, clearly, but you do wonder with some of the cases that you get through, for some people it seems to be a little bit of a get-out-of-jail card, but just awful stories that Sean Fuster was discussing this morning. Just Lawful, the final one this coming Sunday between 7 and 8, and you can read all about it in the Tizer. 8 o'clock news on the way. Lisa McCune coming up from 8:30.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio, and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Partly cloudy and 20 today with the 8 o'clock news. I'm Mel Usher.
Had a bingle driving to work? Contact premierpanel.com.au. RAA approved crash repairer.
The deadline for telehealth funding under Medicare is looming. The program put in place by the federal government during the pandemic is scheduled to end on the 31st of December. The Australian Medical Association believes it should be extended. AMA President Dr Omar Khorshid says connecting remotely complements face-to-face relationships with patients.
For many of those follow-up or simple consultations, really it's just a chat. The GP doesn't necessarily, or even other types of specialists too, they don't necessarily need to lay eyes on you if they know you, and they may rely on tests or other things that have been done
The World Health Organisation has weighed in on mandatory COVID vaccines. Their top European official believes mandates should be a last resort as several countries in the EU consider introducing them. Hans Kluge says a lot needs to be considered.
The effect that mandating vaccination could have on public confidence and public trust, as well as vaccination uptake, must be considered.
The British Prime Minister says early evidence shows the Omicron COVID variant is more transmissible than the Delta strain. Nine's Carrie-Anne Greenbank has more.
The UK has recorded another 101 cases of the Omicron variant, bringing the total number recorded across the country to 437. Prime Minister Boris Johnson says early indications suggest the new variant is more transmissible than Delta, although it's still too early to draw conclusions about its impact. Russia, Croatia and Nepal are among other countries recording their first cases of the Omicron variant.
A man has been charged with arson following a house fire at Huntfield Heights. Crews were called to the property on Cumberland Crescent around 11:30 last night. No one was hurt. It was not a random incident. A 31-year-old from Morphett Vale has been refused bail and will front court today. South Australia has two new powerful weapons in the fight against bushfires. 2 Black Hawk helicopters will be unveiled today. Emergency Services Minister Vincent Tarzia says they're the first of their kind in the country.
We know that they can deploy in only 5 minutes, and look, those extra seconds, that could be the difference between life and death, and that also means CFS volunteers on the ground have got greater aerial support for longer as well. Each helicopter's got a top speed of 360 kilometres an hour, and it can hold 4,000 litres of water or retardant.
Australia could soon have its own cryptocurrency under reforms to make sure the industry is better regulated. The federal government is planning to strengthen digital payment systems to give consumers more protection. Australians make 55 million non-cash transactions each day, worth $650 billion. Treasurer Josh Frydenberg has told Today our regulations need to be updated to reflect the shift.
What we're seeking to do is modernise the payment system to broaden out the types of services and products that are governed by regulation. With respect to cryptocurrency, we want to take it out from the shadows, bring it into a considered regulatory framework.
The father of Hannah Gutierrez-Reid, the armourer on Alec Baldwin's Western Rust, has broken his silence following the fatal shooting on set. Nine's US correspondent Alison Petrowski reports.
Al Reid, a Hollywood veteran, says his daughter has been raised around gun safety since she was a little girl. He's told ABC America that Hannah had 2 jobs on Rust, guns and props, and questioned why she hadn't been called onto the set during Alec Baldwin's rehearsal. The Reid's lawyers believe that the gun used to kill Helena Hutchins was sabotaged by a disgruntled crew member who wanted to cause a safety incident after having complaints ignored. No arrests have been made over the shooting. The Santa Fe Sheriff's Department still investigating the incident.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Fluorio milk comes from local cows and it's bottled here in SA. So look for the local Fluorio Milk Company.
And it's over to Jace Kemp.
Thank you, Mel. To cricket first, and the Strikers have gone down by 2 runs to the Melbourne Renegades in the Big Bash. Batter Jake Weatherald was caught on the boundary by Jake Fraser-McKirk. The catch is already being described as one of the best of the summer.
Oh, I think he might have got enough. Yeah! What a catch! Unbelievable! Fraser-McKirk with a one-hander, a screamer on the boundary of marvel.
Still on cricket, and the Ashes series gets underway in just a few hours' time. Aussie batter Steve Smith has told Ben Fordham he can't wait to get stuck into the Poms at the Gabba.
You know, we've prepared really well the last few weeks. The guys have worked really hard, and Ashes series are always huge. The hype's been pretty big the last few days, and now it's about getting out there and performing, and we're all looking forward to it.
To soccer, and Adelaide United is getting ready to face arch rivals Melbourne Victory this weekend. Despite being winless this season, Craig Goodwin has told Rowie they've got plenty of firepower to collect 3 points.
Juric was the top scorer last year. He's gone. But with me, Steph, Benny, Cassini, I think we have goals in the team. It's just a matter of converting those chances.
In the Champions League, Paris Saint-Germain has thumped Bruges 4-1, while Liverpool is currently 2-1 up against AC Milan. And finally in the tennis, Ash Barty has been named the WTA Player of the Year for a second time. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now checking 5AA traffic.
The Glenelg BMW opening event is on now. Exceptional opportunities across the range. Visit Glenelg BMW today.
At Hectorville, got a crash on Hectorville Road causing a few delays this morning. Mile End South, got a smash on South Road near Deakin Avenue. Gillis Plains, collision on Grand Junction Road near Nelson Road. And Dry Creek asphalt works continue Salisbury Highway near Kidman Road. Cameras today, Shannon Street, Birdwood, Waverley Ridge Road at Crafers West. Watch the hottest end to an F1 season ever, plus over 50 sports live on KO for the red hot price of $5 for 2 months. KO Basic and new customers only, offer ends December 13. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Enter for the $4 million grand prize at stjohnlottery.com.au. Ends midnight Sunday.
20 for your Wednesday and partly cloudy, much the same tomorrow, 21. Friday mostly sunny, 24. Right now it's 14 degrees. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, safety and style to South Australian homes for over 40 years. Gliderol.com.au. You're listening to 5AA Breakfast with Leith Forrest.
8 minutes after 8, got some great prices to give away. We'll do so before 9 o'clock. Vouchers to Games World, family passes to Santa's Wonderland. Lisa McCune's going to join me after 8:30. A new show coming out for the State Theatre Company called The Girl from the North Country. It's music and lyrics from the great Bob Dylan. But it got us thinking with Lisa McCune's character in Blue Heelers, Maggie Doyle, passing away. Deaths on television that have made you cry. We'll do that before 9 o'clock. So think about that. Your chance to win some great prizes coming up very shortly. Australia's payment systems, though, let's talk finance for a second. They'll undergo the biggest reforms that we've seen in quarter of a century. 55 million payments worth $650 billion are made every day, but not using any cash. We're talking online purchases, tap and go, transferring of wages, the world of cryptocurrency, pay later section. I don't know anything about finance. Let's speak to an expert who does. Professor Jason Potts from RMIT joins me. Professor, thanks for your time.
Good morning, Lee.
These are massive reforms we're about to hear. Can I start with the obvious question that a lot of people, every time we mention cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, what is cryptocurrency? Can you explain that to us for simpletons?
Yeah, good question. Look, it's just digital money on the internet. It's just a way of having a money that works without the banking system, just purely on the internet as a protocol, which is a really convenient thing to have.
Can you use it? If I buy myself some Bitcoin now and I want to get a flurry of milk on the way into work this morning, can I buy that at the servo?
Yeah, look, not yet. I mean, it's a digital money, but it's not being used as a money for buying things, at supermarkets and so on. The way in which it's working as a money at the moment is mostly as a savings technology and a platform to build other money type things on top of it. So as a basis for finance. And I know that sounds sort of confusing, but this is the nature of it as a use of technology.
I know one person, Professor, that has it, and I think they're just holding on to it in case it explodes and they become millionaires. What would you be saying to people when it comes to cryptocurrency?
Look, it's a new asset class. It's a in the same sense it sits alongside shares and land and other types of things you might have in your portfolio. The value of it comes from the fact that it's an ownership of digital infrastructure, and the extent to which we build payment rails and other sort of financial products on top of that digital infrastructure. It's like owning land in a town that's growing.
Okay, so there will be no physical coin. It's all online.
It's all online. There is no physical coin. It's all digital. It's digital all the way down.
Okay, I think I've got it.
Yeah.
These reforms, are they necessary? Much to my wife's displeasure, tap and go is part of my life. It feels like free money. I can just walk in, hover it over the little ATM machine, and away we go.
Yeah, look, these are essential, much-needed reforms. They'll bring Australia to the absolute frontiers of financial innovation in the world, which is a fantastic thing. The internet is very big. Australia is very small. If we have a money that works everywhere, then that's fantastic. The basis of the reforms is just to bring regulation and just to reduce uncertainty. At the moment, it's not clear what the rules even are. So Senator Bragg and the inquiries have put forward some very useful proposals for regulating the space, which consumers want, which everyone in the space actually wants. So this is I'm very supportive.
$650 billion a day, Professor. 55 million payments, all online, no cash. This is all just going around our computer systems. That's hard to comprehend.
Well, the economy is a big place. This is just, everything that takes place in the economy involves transactions between people. Those transactions add up. So this is, again, just money is an infrastructure, the technological digital infrastructure. And the better that works, the faster it works, the lower cost we can deliver that, the more we can build on top of it and add innovation, the better the economy works.
Are you confident then with that much money floating around that we have safeguards and consumers are protected with that?
Yeah, look, cybersecurity is a science. It's based on maths. There's a lot of very smart people have been working for a long time to sort of create that digital security. It can be broken through, but to the extent that there's a huge incentive to create very strong safeguards there. I'm pretty confident that this works.
You're a leader in this field. Do you think the days of cash are coming to an end? We see cash-free stadiums now.
Yeah.
We see various venues that, the days of grandparents giving their kids pocket money or donating to a charity, it's going to be tap and go from now on, or do you think that cash will still survive?
No, cash is gone. Cash is 20th century phenomena. Money is a technology. Cash is a technology of money that links it to physical things in the world. Cash is amazing for privacy, and it doesn't leave a trace of what you did with it. But that's its main feature. Everything else is it's slow and awkward and difficult. Digital money, whether it's a government money such as a central bank digital currency or a private money such as cryptocurrencies, digital money is absolutely the future.
Take your professor hat off for a second, though. Don't you love money more? Do you like it? If you're going to slam down a money in a bet, you can't do it with a card.
No, but of course you can. And cards are also a 20th century. Credit cards are also a 20th century phenomena linked to the need for banks. Money is a tool. It's a means to an end. It doesn't need to be it's not something that we commoditize and fetishize. It's just a means to operate in the economy. Okay. And if we've got better tools, we can live better.
Truth be told, Professor, I'm a bit of a germaphobe. Money's gross when you consider how many people are touching it. So I'm all for the tap and go. I don't really have a reign with that, though. I need to sort of bring that back a little bit because it does feel like free money. But we'll wait and see what these reforms have to offer. But, they're staggering numbers. And I guess that's the way of the future, and we'll be doing that more and more often. Thanks so much for your time. Appreciate that, and enjoy your day.
You too.
Thanks so much. Professor Jason Potts from RMIT. So our payment systems, 25 years, it'll be the biggest reforms that you see. I mentioned to the good professor, those payments, $650 billion, and we're all guilty. Now, we don't use the cash. We might do an online purchase, which, by the way, I saw that Australia Post were mentioning today that if you want to get a parcel to someone by Christmas Day, Monday is your absolute last chance. If you don't get it in the mail by Monday, you're cooked. Put a fork in it. Tap and go, transfer of wages, checks and balances when it comes to the pay later sector, the cryptocurrency. Does that make sense to people now? I guess so. Can't use it really, but we'll see how it all plays out. But interesting times ahead for the financial sector. 8:15. We'll take a short break. We'll check the traffic and the petrol for you shortly.
Rowies Sport Show.
First test, you little beauty at the Gabba. On the line is Channel 7's Trent Copeland. He's a former test bowler himself. Hey, you'd love a green top, overcast and humid, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah, it's the beauty of the Gabba.
4 p.m. weekdays.
Win the toss, you're doing what, Trent Copeland?
Oh, if you're thinking about bowling, think again and bat. I always think that's the way to go.
Rowies Sport Show on 5AA.
In life, there are those that say they'll do and those that actually do. Some insurers don't offer free roadside assist for a year when you buy a new comprehensive car insurance policy. But Amy does. So instead of being stranded on the side of the road, in the pouring rain, we'll get you out of the storm and back on the road. It's a no-brainer. Go with the doers. Amy does.
Lucky.
T's and C's apply. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS. The TMD is also available. Visit amy.com.au for a copy.
Don't just get a forklift. Get a Toyota forklift. When you need a forklift, don't just get a forklift. Get a Toyota forklift. Get the world's #1 forklift brand. Get legendary Toyota reliability. Get world-leading safety and get it from toyotamaterialhandling.com.au. Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage for sales, service and hire. Get a Toyota Forklift.
Well, when it comes to choosing your Christmas wines, whatever you fancy, you will find it at FIVEaa. For 45 years, the FIVEaa family have been supporting premium winemakers to achieve the great success, and now you can taste that success for yourself with one of their favourite trophy-winning wines at an unbeatable price. It took out the Royal Adelaide Show's best Shiraz. We're talking the Shingleback unedited 2018 Shiraz. It is the most prestigious wine show in the country. There's over 2,500 wines from more than 300 wineries right across Australia. If you are giving it as a gift, or maybe again you just want to treat yourself, you can pick up an award-winning Shingleback from FIVEaa for just $79.90 plus a bonus gift box. Whatever you fancy, promise you'll find it at FIVEaa. FIVEaa are your local independent South Australia family liquor store.
Hi, I'm Stuart O'Grady, Race Director of the Santos Festival of Cycling. I'm riding for a reason this January, raising funds for Cancer Council to support South Australians impacted by cancer. You can ride your way, on the road, on a track, in a spin class or exercise bike at home. Set your own distance as a challenge and raise funds. All the money raised goes towards supporting South Australians impacted by cancer. Register to Ride for a Reason today and make your ride count at rideforareason.com.au.
This summer, watch the Adelaide Strikers light up Adelaide Oval from the comfort of your own fully serviced area. Join the fun and enjoy all the exciting on-field action with a full VIP experience. Book at adelaidestrikers.com.au.
9 News is the one that's always been live and local. 9 News, made in Adelaide for Adelaide.
Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, safety and style to South Australian homes for over 40 years. Gliderol.com.au. You're listening to 5AA Breakfast with Leith Forrest.
19 minutes after 8. 5AA Breakfast returning Friday, the last show for David and Will. Those asking the progress, both had negative tests, both got out of their 7-day lockdown. 12:01 this morning, and if you're judging by David Penberthy's Twitter account, he ate some pancakes at the Pancake Kitchen. What else did he do? He went to O'Connell Street Bakery, got himself a pie or a pasty, and then went to the Horse. So, as you would do on a Wednesday morning, just after midnight. Let's check the traffic for your drive home. Glenelg BMW. If you've got an existing BMW service inclusive package, you know you can book your next day service right there at Glenelg BMW.
At Holden Hill, got a smash on Lyons Road near St Olds Road. Henley Beach, Military Road is closed for works. That's between Henley Beach Road and Main Street. Detour is in place. Dry Creek on asphalt works on the Salisbury Highway near Kidman Road. And Myrtle Bank speeds are reduced for works around the intersection of Cross Road, Glen Osmond Road and Portrush Road. Cameras Black Road, Happy Valley, Main Road, McLaren Vale. Big W's got Christmas leftovers covered with 50% off decor and Sistema food storage range. Big W, every day's a big day while stocks last. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
So Christmas around the corner, 17 days away. We've sent out our own Jade Robrin to meet great local businesses to provide you with some Christmas inspiration. Robsy.
Me and my boys love going to the movies, and Wallace Cinema in Mitcham is our favourite. And I'm here with Deanna Wallace. Deanna, this time of year almost always means blockbuster releases for holiday season, doesn't it?
Oh, the two I'm most looking forward to for families is Sing 2 and Boss Baby 2 as well. So they're great films that we had a couple of years ago, and now to see those characters back and seeing what they've gotten up to since then, and I think it'll be really exciting for families.
And Wallace Dinner Savers are back.
Yeah, so we've got our 5 for $55 offer again, and we've also got our kids offer for Cine Savers as well, which is 4 tickets for $42. So we've got something for the adults, something for the kids there too.
And what other Christmas goodies have you got on offer?
This year we've released a brand new exciting offer, which is called the Wallace Experience Book. So for $85, it has a variety of different vouchers in there, including movie tickets, combo tickets, you can get something from our bar, you can get cocktails, and also a $20 voucher for Okanine in Mount Barker, and free coffee. Like, there's so many options in this book, it's pretty cool.
I'm booking my tickets now for Sing 2. I can't wait. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Thank you, Jade. Thank you to the great team from Wallace. I saw Sing 2 on the weekend. Terrific film for the whole family. You'll enjoy that. We've got some great prizes to give away. $100 Games World voucher thanks to Games World, the massive new store open 62 Gawler Place in the city, and also with Christmas not far away, Santa's Wonderland. It's the perfect gift for the whole family. Take the kids each and every year. It's on the showgrounds until the 24th of December. Tickets and all the information at santaswonderland.com.au. I'm speaking to Lisa McCune after 8:30 about her new show for the State Theatre Company, but it did remind us of Lisa's time on Blue Heelers, and who could forget the tragic death of Maggie Doyle.
It is Maggie, isn't it? Yes.
Affirmative 150. We have a member down. Ambulance is en route.
Member down. It's the crime scene now.
Oh, Martin Sachs, PJ, just tearing it up for Maggie. So we thought what we would do to give away these prizes for Christmas, what is the TV death, what is the movie death, or in fact maybe a real-life death of a celebrity or well-known person that made you tear up? 8223 0000, send a text, get to us via email. We'll award those prizes for Santa's Wonderland and for Games World. We'll give you the voucher there. So take us on a trip down pop culture memory lane with the death that really just tugged at the heartstrings. Mark is at Summertown. Mark, what's the death that did it for you?
Look, and it does every time I see it replayed, is when Radar comes into the operating theatre on MASH and announces Henry Blake's death.
Yep. I love MASH. I try and get most of the actors on over summer. I'm with you, Mark. That does just stir the emotions, doesn't it?
Does indeed.
Because it's such a great show. Mark, thank you for that. Appreciate that. Wendy at Salisbury East. What was the show, Wendy? What was the death?
McLeod's daughters, and Claire McLeod was car teetering over the cliff face, and she was sitting with her sister Tess to get the baby out before the car.
So Wendy, can I tell you a little story about this? So I worked on McLeod's just after the filming of that particular death. So that was Lisa Chappell. So we filmed that at a quarry just out of Gawler. Can I tell you, Wendy, people dropped flowers at that location where they had Claire go over the cliff in the Hilux. And I remember Rachel Kapani telling me the story that she went through the airport and people were coming up to her crying, asking if she was okay, because her character, Jodie Fountain, obviously was very in touch with Claire and all the rest of it. So that's a good memory. That's a lot of people cried, I think. Thank you, Wendy. Appreciate that. That really tugs at the heartstrings when you're going to an imaginary place and laying some flowers. Kathy at Thebarton, what was the TV death, Kathy?
Country Practice Molly.
Yeah, Molly. Wasn't that beautifully shot? So they fade to black. So Shane's out there with the daughter, isn't he? He's playing on the grass.
Yeah.
Molly's sitting in the banana lounge. She's got the nana blanket on, and you just see those eyes close. Oh.
Yeah.
We might have to find the audio of that because he's sort of there's that chilling Molly, isn't there, that just fades to black and then it goes. Thank you, Kathy. Great suggestion in the running for that. We're talking deaths on the back of Lisa McCune's chat coming up shortly and the ones that got you, whether it's TV or movies. Tracy at Anguston. What is it, Tracy?
Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
Look, it would have to be E.T.
Yeah.
I took my brother to the cinema to see it, and he didn't want to leave at the end of the movie because he couldn't stop crying.
E.T. doesn't die, though, does he?
I think he does.
No, doesn't he fly? I'm with you. I cried too. I watched it in Mount Gambier as a kid. I think the bit where the plastic is put over the house and they steal E.T., that's the teary bit for me. But I thought that Elliot's on the bike, E.T. gets back on his ship and away he goes.
Oh, there you go. I thought he died.
Oh, I'm going to have to check that. Thank you. Appreciate that, Tracy. Natasha from Seaford. What was the death,
Hello.
Natasha?
Hello. I think Dr. Patrick from Offspring.
I don't remember the Dr. Patrick one.
Oh, you don't remember that one? Nina and Patrick, yeah. It was, I think the series ended up a few years ago, but yeah, definitely that one. All the women would know about that one.
They're all wiping away tears in unison. Thank you for that. Great suggestion, Natasha. Ralph at Kenttown. What's the death? Ralphie?
Oh, look, it'd have to be Roy Orbison passing away, which was only the anniversary 2 days ago, December 6th of 88. when he was on his way. He had 2 albums in the top 40. Always knew he'd have another number 1 hit.
Yeah.
And it was posthumous. He was so happy about the Wilburys and Mystery Girl, and then it would all be over.
Ralphie, I saw that post that you put out. Were you a support for one of his concerts?
His wife actually sent me that as a
Nice.
gift.
Wow. Because I thought that, gee, that's a good get, being on the card for Roy Orbison. I did think of you when I saw that. Yeah, 22 years. Hard to believe it's 2 decades now. What a story.
No, 88.
Oh, yeah.
So that's almost 4 decades.
4 decades, wow.
Yeah.
Ralph,
yeah,
thank you for that.
fabulous.
Appreciate it. Good memory. The death that did it to you, that you just lost it, be it television, be it movie, be it real life. Let me know your chance to win great prizes. We've got the $100 Games Reward voucher, the Santa's Wonderland tickets. Paul, Bert Newton. Yeah, that was sad when Bert passed away recent times. Opie on Sons of Anarchy. Marcus from Elizabeth. Thank you, Marcus. I don't know the show. I don't know the death. Star Wars, The Force Awakens, when Han Solo was killed by his own son, Kylo Ren. Spoiler alert. Nick, thank you for that. 1976, King Kong at the end, when they shoot Kong off the Empire State Building, burst into tears. 7 years old. Yeah, Brendan lost Molly on a country practice, getting a lot of votes. Thank you, Jen, for yours. The horse dying in Never Ending Story. Thank you for that. You know what else is getting votes? Danny Duquette's death in Grey's Anatomy. Do you remember this one?
We'll do it all.
Lucy Loken currently wiping away tears in the booth. Just at memories. We're going to take more of your calls coming up after Lisa. Just before we get to the news, Susanna, what's your death, Susanna, in Mylor?
George from Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, George.
I was at a barbecue with friends. I was invited to a barbecue. There was a whole lot of us. I was the only one who watched Grey's Anatomy. They had a TV going in the background without the sound. And when I saw that George was had died, I just burst into tears, and I was uncontrollably crying for well over an hour, and no one understood why.
Refresh my memory, because Jessica and I are Grey's watchers. How did George die again?
So he got hit by a bus trying to save someone.
That's right.
But they didn't realise it was him until they were sort of in the middle of surgery.
That's right. His face.
The damage to him was so bad.
That's right.
And oh my God, my body is just shaking now.
Yeah, me too. Do you know who I cried a little bit with Grey's as well with that one, Susanna? Was when Lexi died, Meredith's sister, in the plane accident.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a little sad too. So.
Oh.
Yeah, they know. Shonda Rhimes and Grey's Anatomy know how to do a tearjerker, don't they? There's been some tragic deaths in that show. Great memory. Well, not a great memory. Thank you. Great call, Susanna. Appreciate that. More chances for you to let us know the death that really just tugged on the heartstrings. TV, movie. Somebody said the death from Armageddon when Bruce Willis dies after saving the world from that asteroid. Good memory. We'll get to more of those. Lisa McCune's going to join me next.
20 degrees, 27, 40, 40, 40. When's the right time to install a reverse cycle split system? Before the heat wave. Fortunately, Polar Air Heating and Cooling can register you for the government's Retailer Energy Productivity Scheme, saving you hundreds off the installation price. Our qualified installers will assess your needs and suggest the right system for you. Secure your incentive allocation today. Speak to Polar Air Heating and Cooling. polarairhc.com.au.
Visit the Reject Shop for the cheapest snacks and essentials, with 400ml Morning Fresh just $2, 150-gram bags of Bluebird chips for $2, and 500-gram pasta packs only 50 cents. The Reject Shop, cheapest every day.
So many text messages we'll get to in a minute, bringing up just tearful memories. But let me tell you about something a lot happier, and that is the Christmas time. It is the chance to give the gift of pristine coastlines and breathtaking views, crystal clear blue water, Australian wildlife, tours, special experiences. You could dine underwater. You can dine in the enchanted fig tree. You can get on a quad bike. You can even swim with dolphins, which would be incredible, by getting a SeaLink gift voucher and enjoying all the KI has to offer. Kangaroo Island ticks all the the boxes. It's the perfect Christmas gift. Friends, family, or you can treat yourself. SeaLink gift vouchers start from $20, can be redeemed against any product offered by SeaLink in SA. This includes the ferry travel, the tours, holiday packages, accommodation, and so much more. And these vouchers are valid and available for 3 years. It's easy to organise. Just visit sealink.com.au, buy yourself a gift voucher online. Website so easy to navigate, sealink.com.au.
This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Partly cloudy, 20 today with the 8:30 news. I'm Mel Usher.
Had a bingle driving to work? Contact Premier Panel Services at premierpanel.com.au.
2 Qantas flights from Melbourne to Adelaide have now been listed as COVID exposure sites. One was on Sunday afternoon, the other Monday morning. Passengers in rows 11 to 15 on QF 691 and 677 are considered close contacts. Other passengers and crew are considered casual contacts. For more information, check the SA Health website. The Australian Medical Association is pushing to further extend funding for telehealth services beyond the end of this month. There were 9.3 million Medicare-funded telehealth consultations across the country in the second quarter of 2021. AMA President Dr Omar Khorshid says medical practitioners have become quite reliant on the alternative consultation method during the pandemic.
And of course the pandemic is far from over, and for many medical practices, given the requirements for furloughing staff that could get exposed to COVID, telehealth's actually a potentially more efficient and safe way to run a practice in certain types of medicine.
The World Health Organization is cautioning against mandatory COVID vaccines. The WHO's top European official has stressed there is a need for increased vaccine uptake to drive down cases worldwide, but says mandates should be an absolute last resort. The federal government is announcing the biggest reforms to Australia's payment systems in 25 years. 55 million payments worth $650 billion are made each day, but not using cash. The government says there needs to be tighter regulation around some digital products, including cryptocurrency. We could see more Christmas cards exchanged in the coming weeks. The need for an emotional connection is expected to see a boost in cards and phone calls this year, rather than a text or email. Workplace and social affairs expert Professor Gary Martin says cards are important.
This year people are trying to make a connection with people. The pandemic has emphasised that we need to emotionally connect with people in our lives. Especially when we've not been able to be together with others. And I think that's why we're seeing Christmas cards come back.
The UK is copping it with a major storm, packing strong winds, heavy rain and snow. Nine's Carrie-Anne Greenbank is in London.
Storm Barra is descending on the UK, battering the country with 130 km/h winds, along with heavy rain and snow. Southern parts of Ireland have started flooding, and almost 60,000 homes left without power. Wind warnings are in place for England and Wales, and snow and blizzard warnings issued for Scotland.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Fluorio milk comes from local cows and it's bottled here in SA. So look for the local Fluorio Milk Company.
And it's a big day in sport, Jace
Kemp.
It
certainly is, Mel. To cricket first, and the Ashes series gets underway in just 2 hours' time. England has suffered a major blow with bowler Jimmy Anderson ruled out with a calf strain. England's wicketkeeper Joss Buttler says it will be a challenge.
I think Australia tend to play well here. Obviously lost to India recently at this venue, so it proves it's not impossible to beat Australia here.
Still on cricket, and the Strikers have suffered a 2-run loss in the Big Bash. Adelaide unable to cash in on the Renegades' batting collapse after they lost 6 wickets in just 12 balls.
You'd be annoyed walking out there and then getting told to go back. Change of pace again, another easy catch. Tell you what, that is a big wicket.
To footy, and pre-season training resumes for the Power this morning. Ruckman Scott Lycett has been impressed with Port's new recruits. Lycett telling Rowie, former North Melbourne vice-captain Trent Dumont has been a standout.
He's come over as a delisted free agent, and he's very fit and flying on the track at the moment, actually, to be honest. I'm surprised how well he's going, so be interested to see how he goes next year. And
to tennis, and Novak Djokovic has a chance to play at the Australian Open with a medical exemption. While finally in the Champions League, Liverpool has beaten AC Milan 2-1. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now checking 5AA traffic.
Do you have an existing BMW service inclusive package? Book your next day service at Glenelg BMW.
At Holden Hill, got a smash on Lyons Road near St Olds Road. Henley Beach, Military Road is closed for works. That's between Henley Beach Road and Main Street. Detours in place. Dry Creek and Ashford works on the Salisbury Highway near Kidman Road. And Crayforth still in the tunnel. Speed restrictions on the freeway both directions for works. Cameras Nan Road, Woodside and Dyson Road at Christie's Beach. Join iPrimers for fast internet, free modem and no setup fees. Switch at iprimers.com.au today. New customers and select plans only. Offer ends January 31, 2022. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Enter for the $4 million grand prize at stjohnlottery.com.au. Ends midnight Sunday.
Partly cloudy and 20 today, much the same tomorrow 21, then Friday mostly sunny 24. Right now it's 15 degrees. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Hey, it's Callum here. When it comes to servicing your family's vehicles, Edwardstown Mazda's 1 hour quick smart service is definitely the way to go, especially for busy people. And who isn't busy nowadays? Edwardstown Mazda's 1 hour express service.
There's taste bud titillations, decadent desires, and the presidential hamper. Merry Christmas, folks. I'm Brett Charlesworth, and they're just 3 of the mouth-watering Christmas gifts we make for you at Charlesworth Nuts. With 100 different gifts, from just $10 to $250, there is literally something for everyone. They're all beautifully handmade, they look stunning, and they're filled with the most amazing products. 11 family-owned stores or shop online. Why Charlesworth? Because fresh nuts taste better.
SportsMed provides patients with state-of-the-art healthcare for their hips, knees, feet, ankles, shoulders, elbows, wrists and hands. Here's Dr Claire Bolton with more.
As an orthopaedic surgeon, I'm focused on delivering exceptional patient care across a range of treatment options, including robotic surgery. We're committed to innovation because we want to give our patients choices in their individual treatment plans.
All your treatments, all your care, one place. SportsMed. Visit sportsmed.com.au.
It's value the Australian way this Christmas at Coles with 15% off ultimate gift cards. There are gift cards for everyone. Only at Coles. Limit of 5 per customer. Offer valid in-store only. Exclusions apply. Offer ends Tuesday.
Lisa McCune in just 1 second. First, let's check the fuel for Glenelg BMW. The opening event on now. Exceptional opportunities right across the range. Visit Glenelg BMW today. Petrol's been pretty expensive, to be honest, in Stepney and Hawthorn, around the $1.84. Other than that, it's pretty cheap, $1.38. The OTR at the entrance by the freeway, $1.39 Brighton Road at Glenelg South, $1.37 Port Wakefield Road in Cavan. But the cheapest that you'll find, Green Acres, is the place to be. It is $1.34 on North East Road.
Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, safety and style to South Australian homes for over 40 years. Gliderol.com.au. You're listening to 5AA Breakfast with Leith Forrest.
So great news if you're a lover of theatre, and thankfully with the restrictions easing, it means that shows can be put on once again because GWB Entertainment, Damien Hewitt, the Sydney Festival, and most importantly, the State Theatre Company of South Australia, along with Trafalgar Entertainment, are bringing us Girl from North Country at the beautiful, refurbed Her Majesty's Theatre, March 25 until April 10, and the star of the show. What a star she is too. I'd watch her do the dishes. She is captivating in everything she does. The lovely Lisa McCune. Lisa, thanks for your time.
Oh my gosh, you'll be watching lots of other people do the dishes too. This cast is kind of amazing.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Before we talk about you, the show, you're coming back to Adelaide, which we so love. I was thinking this, do you get more enjoyment out of stage or out of screen? Is it the intimacy of the audience that lets you know straight away that just lifts stage up for you?
I could never have a preference for either because I do really love working in both realms and they have different requirements of a performer and I love them both and I'm always so delighted to be working. But I think I felt at the moment that when I saw this show, I really wanted to be part of it. I think, you know, GWB, which is an Adelaide-based company, and the State Theatre Company, who are celebrating their 50th anniversary this year, in 2022, which is exciting. I just felt that it was the show that I really wanted to be part of. It was really soulful. It is about connection and the music and the story weave beautifully. And I think that that's what audiences will really recognise, that you leave feeling quite quite joyous, quite uplifted.
So, Girl from the North Country, music and lyrics by the great Bob Dylan, taken the world by storm, Broadway, the West End. You've done it in Sydney, you're bringing it to Adelaide. Explain this show for us, Lisa. So where are we set? 1934 Minnesota.
Yeah, so it's wintertime. It's not a jukebox musical as such. So how it came about was Bob Dylan's, I guess his incorporation, approached Conor McPherson and it kind of gave him license to explore his work and somehow come up with a stage version of his music. And Conor's a really terrific Irish playwright. And he came up with this very beautiful play about the Lane family in Duluth, Minnesota, which is the connection for Dylan because that's where he was born. And they run a boarding house post-Depression and, people are coming and going and there's, lives that are, very hard and they're all looking for hope and connection in their futures. And there's lots of twists and turns in the story and love stories and unrequited love and there's a lot of hope in it. My character has dementia, which is really interesting. So I get to explore a lot of really great territory. And the songs are reflected in a way that everybody comes together and sings at certain times. And sometimes the poignancy of the songs is ever present and other times it's just a breakaway moment. And you kind of just feel like you're on this liquid journey as you go through it.
I'm watching the Beatles get back and I'm marvelling at their catalogue. But what about Dylan? What about how many great songs of all different genres and I guess obviously the poetry aspect to it, but it would just fit perfectly for a show like this. Yeah, and Conor McPherson's words in his playwriting is kind of equally poetic and they're a beautiful marriage. But I think, with Dylan, for me, I know his very famous songs. I'm not one of the people in the room who know his stuff intimately. For me, I'm learning. But what I am finding is how well the melody and lends itself to a metamorphosis almost of different styles throughout the piece. So there's lots of arrangements of almost choral versions of the song, and it's just beautiful. Simon Hale it just kind of lifts the piece, and it becomes. It's not religious, but it kind of feels like being in a church. No,
There's something, a hard thing to describe, but I know that my reaction to the piece when I saw it, and I kind of was desperate to audition for it after seeing it, was I felt like I'd seen a really tragic story in a lot of ways, but yet why was I feeling so good after it? It was bizarre. I thought nothing's made me feel like this before.
That's what you want though, don't you, with emotions? You want the roller coaster as you go through. Lisa McHugh, my guest, Her Majesty's Theatre, 25th of March to the 10th of April, Girl from the North Country. You can find out more at statetheatrecompany.com.au. I know there's a lot of performances out there, Lisa, which have been done and dusted over many, many years, and they're great. They're standards and they're classics. How exciting is it for you to do something like this, which is new, that audiences haven't seen before?
I think overseas, people have it. They've reopened on Broadway. Conor, the director and writer, has given us great license to create our own characters within it. I mean, we have a shape because the show's been done before. They know what, I guess, works and how they do want it rolled out in a way. But at the same time, it's really lovely to go exploring. But then again, I'm also a great lover of things that have been done before. I'm a huge fan of Stephen Sondheim. I love the Rodgers and Hammerstein catalogue. And as a performer, you just really you do go chasing it because you think it's something that's kind of wonderful. Yeah. And to see joy and have audiences react in the way they do. This show's very funny too. There's so much laughter in it. There's some really cutting humour in it, and that's actually quite wonderful as well. And the other great thing that I wanted to say too is that coming to South Australia is quite exciting for us because I always think coming to South Australia, you guys should be called, state of the art. I think, because you punch above your weight, I think, as far as what you have down there.
That'd be nice on our licence plate. We have the festival state, but you're right. Last time,
that's pretty good.
I think last time I saw you was one of the Teddy Tahu Rhodes shows that you were doing here. But have you been to the newly refurbed Her Majesty's?
No, last time I was in Adelaide, you guys were about to commence it. Sorry, that's my phone ringing in the background. That's one of my children. No, the last time that I was in Adelaide, you guys were about to commence, and I think I was over there for Eddie Perfect's show.
Yes.
So it's been a while since I've been in town.
Well, wait till
I
you
hear
see
it's
it.
amazing.
Oh, my Lord. It's amazing.
And do you know the other thing is that in Sydney we are actually opening Girl from North Country in the newly renovated Theatre Royal. So it's incredibly exciting that in this country we are really valuing our theatre spaces, because we must protect that the heritage of theatres. And I love in South Australia that you guys have kept that the facade of that, the guts of that beautiful building, because it's your heritage as well.
And lastly, Lisa, how nice through this 2 years of COVID that finally shows are back. I mean, performers and people in the arts industry got whacked so hard that all of a sudden all shows cancelled, but now you're getting back out, you're treading the boards again.
Yeah, I mean, we're so closely linked to with that kind of hospitality world, aren't we? Because we're providers of the things that people kind of love to do as special treats almost. And I guess they are a necessity now in some way. Maybe we realise when, we haven't been able to go to the theatre or access live performance, that maybe it actually is part of the fabric of what culturally we need in community, because I think it's really important. It's so great when generationally you see grandparents coming with their grandchildren, and, there's the experiences that people remember going to a show with Nana, like 20 years later they'll talk about it. But the big thing in Adelaide is going to be getting a ticket, because I think we're only in town for 2 weeks, or 2 or 3 weeks. So we've got quite a short run. Yep. And I don't think that we've got much wiggle room there.
No, well, this is why we refurbed Her Majesty, so that we could have shows like yourself come to town. The music and lyrics of Bob Dylan, Girl from North Country. Tickets available via Ticketek, but as Lisa mentioned, it is a short run, March 25 to April 10 next year, 2022. So get on Ticketek and get your tickets. Lovely to speak to you as always, Lisa. Have a great Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we look forward to seeing you and the team here in 2022. We
can't wait. Stay well.
Thanks so much. You too. The great Lisa McCune, Girl from North Country, music and lyrics by Bob Dylan, written and directed by Olivier, a winning Connor McPherson. It's a show that you're going to want to go to, the State Theatre Company of South Australia. Get your tickets at Ticketek.
Hey, it's Rory Sloan. For 20 years, the team at Jarvis Toyota have been helping South Australian families keep that "oh, what a feeling" feeling. Over that time, Jarvis has put their support behind Variety, the children's charity, as platinum sponsor of the Variety 4-wheel drive adventure. And they've got plenty more support to give. If you're about to rediscover the road, make sure you take a proper test drive from the range at Jarvis Toyota, South Road, Clovelly Park, proudly celebrating 20 years of support.
Hi, I'm Stuart O'Grady, Race Director of the Santos Festival of Cycling. I'm riding for a reason this January, raising funds for Cancer Council to support South Australians impacted by cancer. You can ride your way, on the road, on a track, in a spin class, or exercise bike at home. Set your own distance as a challenge and raise funds. All the money raised goes towards supporting South Australians impacted by cancer. Register to Ride for a Reason today and make your ride count at rideforareason.com.au.
Where you can give your loved ones a wild experience at the Adelaide Zoo and Monado Safari Park. An incredible range of animal experiences, memberships, and the Zoo Shop stocking fillers. Perfect for that animal lover in the family or the experience seeker. You can gift an unforgettable experience, guaranteed to get the heart racing. What about the close encounter with the Monato's Lion's Pride in the jaw-dropping Lions 360? You can hand feed a giant giraffe, or you could even scratch a rhino. It's a great chance, great opportunity to use the vouchers with the kids and the grandkids over Christmas and New Year's, and you can skip the crowds, tick it off your gift list in just a few clicks. Zoos SA membership, they're also a great gift idea, incredible value. Kids love the zoo. Monado, so great. Unlimited visits to both the zoo and Monado, plus entry to most major zoos around the country. Shop now at zoossa.com.au/gifts.
I don't really like talking on radio, but I do like talking about our cows at the FIVEaa Milk Company. And I love helping support SA dairy farmers. They're a great bunch with beautiful families. They work day and night to produce the best milk in SA. So when you're in the supermarket, look for FIVEaa Milk Company. South Australian and proud of it. I'm getting good at this.
FIVEaa Milk Company, celebrating 15 years of SA business.
FlurioMilkCo.com.au.
Whether you're at home or out and about, Care Alert can protect you anywhere at any time. With features like automatic fall detection, satellite tracking, plus the ability to call 000, you're never alone with Care Alert. For more info, go to carealert.com.au.
9 News is the one that's always been live and local. 9 News, made in Adelaide for Adelaide.
Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, safety and style to South Australian homes for over 40 years. Gliderol.com.au. You're listening to 5AA Breakfast with Leith Forrest.
10 minutes to 9, sitting in for David and Will. The last show for 2021. They will return Friday morning from 6 a.m. Gwen from Waruka, thank you for your text. Thank you for the interview with Lisa. My daughter is a costume maker on Girl from North Country. She's thrilled to be working after 17 weeks of lockdown in Sydney. Gwen, thank you for that. It'll be so great to see Lisa and the cast here. And I need to apologise to Brooklyn Munn, who does the videos and the live feed that you see for our Facebook. That she's got to see my face for the few days while I'm doing this. I've asked for the landscape or the pano shot, not the portrait. But also I must spoil it because I told her that George died in Grey's Anatomy, and she's just trying to watch it from the word go. So I've unfortunately spoiled a death from about 6 years ago. So, Lenny, sorry about that. We are talking celebrity deaths on TV and in movies on the back of Lisa McCune because her much-loved Maggie died in Blue Heelers. A lot of votes for Molly. Oh, there it is. What death got you? What death just tugged at the heartstrings and you just blubbed up a little bit? Maggie at Hallett Cove, what death was it, Maggie?
There were two. One was Elvis Presley. I was having breakfast and there was a news flash on, and my daughter come out and she saw me crying in my wee bed.
Oh, yeah, of
Actually
course.
died. That was such a shock.
Yep.
And the other one was Princess Diana's funeral.
Yeah.
I went through a whole box of tissues that day, I think.
Yeah, I think the death itself, Maggie, was one of shock. I think for a lot of people, though, you're right. When you saw the funeral, when you saw the boys lining the streets, the casket go through, Elton John, that was a tearjerker for many people. Thank you for that. Kay at Ross Trevor, what was the death, Kay?
Yes, mine was Patrick Swayze in Ghost.
Oh, yeah.
And it just killed me. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really got to me.
It's a nice love affair. That's
After I could never forget that.
Yeah, that's such a good film, isn't it? The death itself is sad, but it's nice, the love affair, from the Righteous Brothers and the making of the bowl to the bit where he jumps in and out of the train. Yeah, that is one that would tug. Margaret at Greenwith, what was the death, Margaret, that made you cry?
Leith Forrest, you are so knowledgeable. You know everything about these movies. My death was, we were living in Melbourne and the other lady stole my thunder, sadly. We were living in Melbourne, driving along a highway on a Sunday going somewhere up to Dandenongs, I think, for a drive.
Yep.
And I heard the newscast that Diana had died.
No.
That was just stunning.
Yeah.
Absolutely stunning. I have the most beautiful picture in my lounge room hanging on the wall. Everyone thinks it's a painting, but it's actually an embroidery of her in the red hat and the red from her shoulders up.
Yep.
Red hat and the red dress. And it's just a living memory of Diana.
Yeah, couldn't believe it, could you? I was at a children's birthday party at the time, Margaret. I remember vividly, and Malcolm Blight told me recently on the soundtrack, it was the last game for the Crows before they won the flag. In 97, they lost to Essendon at Princes Park. And again, everyone couldn't believe that. You just thought, no, there's no way that Princess Diana can die. But unfortunately, she did. Thank you, Margaret. Steve at Seaview Downs, what was the death, celebrity-wise, that got you?
Oh, good morning, Leith. Look, do you remember the movie The Notebook?
Oh, one of my favourites.
Yeah, well, that's the really fantastic movie.
Yeah.
But the love story between James Gardner and his wife, and when she got dementia, and how he looked after her, and then when they hopped into bed together, and they both passed away.
Yeah,
that got me. That got me.
Yeah, me too. That is such a great... I must admit, Steve, I was watching the film and I saw the first bit with all the ducks, all the swans, and I thought, oh, what are we in for here? And then it turned out to be one of the great romantic movies of our time. I think it's a terrific film. Thank you for that. Debbie at South Plimpton. Debbie?
Hi, Leith.
Which
So nice
death?
to hear you in the morning.
Thanks, Deb.
So I've got two telly ones, and I think you'll agree with my second one.
Okay.
But my first one was Dr. Mark Green from ER.
Oh, yes. Anthony Edwards' character?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty
That
sure
was
he
sad.
just left people letters and disappeared.
Yes.
Yeah, because he didn't want the sadness.
That's right, yep.
But this is the one I think you'll agree. It has to be people of a certain vintage. Colonel Henry Blake from the MASH.
Oh, I know.
4077.
Yeah. Nah.
Remember Radar coming
Yes.
to the... I'm going to cry. Radar coming to the door with tears in his eyes. And they all looked at each other. Falling.
No, you're still crying now.
Of course.
Debbie, thank you for that. I so love MASH. Colin will be one of our last callers. What was the death, Colin?
Hey, g'day. It's a movie one for me, Leith, and you're doing a great job there also.
Thank you.
Look, sorry, I'm a weirdly emotional male. My favourite movie is Terminator 2, when Arnie gets lowered into the molten metal
Yep.
at the end and he gives the thumbs up. Sorry, can't help myself.
Oh, my Lord. Thank you for that. Stephen at Norwood, what's yours?
To Peter Brock's death, that broke me up,
for
and
sure.
also the movie Gran Torino when Clint Eastwood died. That really cut me up too.
Yeah, that was sad. That was a great movie. Thank you for that. Anthony, our last caller. Anthony?
Oh, g'day, Leith. I think the one that's got me because of the uncertainty for about 10 years is Tony Soprano.
Oh, yeah. Well, we think he's now done. The Fade to Black.
No, officially as of this year, the writers announced that the script was that he did die and was shot in the cafe.
Wow. Thank you, Anthony. Nobody mentioned it on the phones. A lot of text messages, though. Marley and me. Holy moly. I was watching a preview at the Capri, blubbing away. It was not a pretty sight, and I apologise to Ian Wills, who I was talking to at the time. That is one of the saddest films of all time. John Blake's here, the genius of John Blake, to cheer us up after that kind of depressing. Andy and Lucy will come up with the winners of our prizes. Aussie Fast Transport Solutions looking for subcontract drivers right now. 13 13 64. That's 13 13 64.
And when we get behind closed...
Hi, I'm Mike Keelan.
And I'm Angie McBride.
And Christmas is knocking on the door.
I know, where has the year gone? But we've
Merry
got
Christmas, have a wonderful...
No, I wasn't finished.
Oh, right. Sorry, we'll do that again.
Yeah, okay.
Hi, I'm Mike Keelan.
And I'm Angie McBride.
And Christmas is...
No, let me say my name.
Oh, right. Hi, I'm Mike Keelan.
And I'm Angie McBride.
And Christmas is knocking on the door.
I know, where has the year gone? But we've just stopped by to say... That's your bit.
So I say... Oh, all right.
Oh.
Hi, I'm Mike Keelan.
And I'm Angie McBride.
And Christmas is knocking on the door.
I know, where has the year gone? But we've just stopped by to say...
Merry Christmas.
No, I haven't said it yet. What are you doing?
Oh, well, I'm not used to doing...
Oh, God, this is hard.
Right, start again.
Take 5.
Hi, I'm Mike Keelan.
And I'm Angie McBloody Bride.
And Christmas is knocking on the damn door.
I know, it's been the longest freaking year of my life. Where's the damn year gone?
Merry Christmas and have a wonderful day, whether you're working, like some of us.
Oh.
Make sure you have a ripper of a Christmas this year.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
How's that?
Yeah, that's fine. Surprised we got through that.
Well, it's hard. We should have written it down or something.
It's just a Christmas message. It's not hard, Michael.
Oh, shut up.
You shut up.
No, you shut up.
Why should I?
Yeah, whatever.
Merry Christmas.
You too.
It's funny because it's true. Blakey back tonight from 7.
When you die, who gets what? Will your kids or relatives argue over your estate? Will your beneficiaries be protected? Will your estate be tax effective? Will your wishes be respected and carried out? Speak with Donlan Lawyers now for peace of mind. Donlan Lawyers for wills and estate planning. Visit donlanlawyers.com. That's donlanlawyers.com.
TJM's big Christmas sale is on now, so get off-road, check out their Facebook page for their daily deals. There's Dometic fridges from $1,349, and that includes a protective cover, a 42-litre TJM icebox and a trolley. That's a saving of more than $500. Recovery gear kits starting from just $148, and TJM Seeker Series lights for only $349, save $50. But stock is limited. TJM Nailsworth and Clovelly Park, tjmsa.com.au.
Well, congratulations to Natasha at Seaford. You've won Santa's Wonderland. Colin, you're off to Games World with a voucher there. And apologies to the text message, a depressing way to finish the show. I'm sorry about that. Hey, do you know the Torrens to Darlington project, the final 10.5k piece of the North-South corridor, the most significant road infrastructure project ever undertaken in SA? And when complete, it'll unlock our traffic network. We're talking tunnels and motorways, overpasses, bypassing 21 sets of traffic lights, shortening the commute for thousands of people. Not only is the project going to make the north-south commute easier, the T2D project supports more than 4,900 jobs. Over the next 2 weeks, you'll be able to drop in, speak to a member of the project team at one of the interactive information displays. If you'd like to find out the details on the times and locations, you can search online for the T2D project or visit the What's On section on the T2D website, which is dit.sa.gov.au/Torrens to Darlington. You can register for project updates and follow their social media to stay in the loop. See you tomorrow.
Shop online with Coles for an easier Christmas because we've added thousands of extra home delivery and click and collect windows. Shop online at coles.com.au. Coles, value the Australian way. T's and C's apply.